Hello, everybody. Welcome in to episode 21 of Pariahs. I hope I'll find you all happy, rested on this Sunday evening. Ta-da! Cheers. Oh, I started a little earlier than usual. Welcome in. Druid managing to snag the first there. Sneeze, hello, how are you? Let's unmute everyone. Bring in the players. Hello, players.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Let me turn up Vanya a little bit. She was a tad quiet. There we go. How are we?
Not poorly.
Good. Good. I'm glad. I'm glad to hear.
Awkward silence. Good book.
Yes. Who starts a conversation like that? I mean, come on.
I can't follow that, so.
No, I don't know. This weekend has been a rough one for me. So.
It's alright. Don't worry about it. Episode 21. As we can all see, we are missing our resident vampire this week.
Of having feelings.
I know. No, Druid, you're not.
No, you're not.
You're really not. You're not the only one jealous of Dorian's voice.
Oh no, I was just looking down for a moment at my coffee. That's all that was.
Oh, just in general. Just in general. Yes. Yeah. But yeah, I'm sure Reza will regale us as to why she's vacant when she's back next week. It's for her to say rather than us. So yeah, let's dive straight into today's session. Cypher, what happened last week on Pariahs?
We start off with Reza, who was who roped in the crippled form of Cypher to help her make a new cat. So she could. It's a weird "Hi, I'm alive" gift, but yeah. Anyway, she wanted a twinned cat to go with the one that she's already got, so she can use it as an alarm system for her now not estranged family. But we'll get to that later. So shenanigans ensued as she carried the literally the limp corpse of Cypher around while they hunted for a soul to put in this fucking statue. But they got interrupted by Vanya, who was like, "Hey, anybody see my fucking frog? It's missing." And then Cypher had the idea. He was like, "Ha, we were in the Shadowfell for a day. Maybe it followed us there." On Dimension Door later, yeah, his hypothesis was correct. The frog was indeed exactly where it should be, just on a different plane of existence. It's all good. So he's like, yeah, you should probably just get the coroner to check that out. I regret that statement, and I should have kept my mouth shut and said, "No, lost forever." But eventually we got a soul, put in the new cat, which is a ginger tabby, is it?
Yeah. Angry
yeah.
orange thing.
Yeah. And then it was time to see what Dorian was up to, and back to the office it was to claim his fucking new office space. However, on this particular day, he drew the short straw. As Dame Corday showed up exactly the same time. She's like, "Hey, fuck you guys been?" So Dorian caught the short end of that stick. And he was kind of like, well, shit happens. Don't worry about it. She seemed appeased by what he said and buggered off while Dorian surveyed his empty kingdom, which was the governor's office. He has staffing issues.
That's one way of putting it, yeah.
Mm.
Say staffing issues. I say we have room for growth.
God, he's turned into Vanya.
How dare you?
Speaking of Vanya, she off to the coroner. She went on Cypher's advice, and well, she got her frog back.
Yeah.
You know, well done. Hey, however,
It was just funny that there always seems to be either a but or a however in this campaign.
yeah. Turns out, the coroner and the chirurgeon are having a bit of a lover's tiff, and he's sleeping on the couch. The couch being Cypher's sanctum now, as he's made himself at home and made himself scarce in the society. Yay. It wasn't all bad. We got to learn some bits and bobs, some nice little lore drops for all of you watching. I won't go through them all because
you don't know yourself. Wait, what?
because yeah. Yep. Lots of lore. Anyway, fucking last couple of sessions, fucking just lore, all right?
Hashtag VOD.
Hashtag watch your fucking video. So yeah, now we have a coroner who's moved in. Poor fucking Elias has been dominated. Don't get weird, chat. All right, it's not like that. All right. Okay. And then after that, it was the lovely reunion. That wasn't socially awkward in any way, shape, or form. Between Reza and her brother down in Tartov. It was very heartfelt. She tried to bitch out, but Garrett, being the sneaky bitch, fucking
Said
bat-finked. Yeah, he was like, no. Get the fuck out of there. So yeah, socially awkward. Touching moment. Almost tears. It's very sad. Very wonderful, heartfelt moment. And to balance that out, we shall now commence atrocities. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that sums it up. Also, Devious Hearts, welcome back in. Welcome back. Glad to see you. Can you make it like that with enough channel points? I mean, as I said, just read half the quotes that come up in this channel, and you get a sense of how depraved it all gets at times.
Then just realize how many of them are traced back to Jump Blacks.
Yeah, jump. How, at a percentage, how many would you say the quotes are yours?
I think they're all taken out of context.
Okay.
But there's probably, I'm going to say about 85%. I blame Enders.
I like baby things.
I mean, Edith, it was just Smith. Edith was was Jump's character.
Edith was Jump's
that was
character.
me too. Oh, Edith. I remember when she tried to sneak in her undead boyfriend.
Yeah. So just before we get into it, the funny this is what I love about Jump. In a campaign where the party was good, you know, you had a cleric, a paladin, you know, a genuinely lawful-ish group. She was a necromancer. Now we're doing a campaign in a dark world where everyone's a monster. And she's the brightest, joyous thing in existence.
I like to go against the grain.
I wouldn't change it for the world. So with that said though, and adverts are about to start in 20 seconds. And both are walk. I mean, yeah, Jump, you are a walking war crime, and I'm all for it. let's get back into it then, shall we? We are now in the week's worth of downtime. Here's where you rest, recuperate, in effect, get a long rest. Now, obviously, there's things that need to be done still. Reza has managed to rebuild some bonds with a family she thought she would never get to interact with again. You delivered the break cat in case of emergency magical item, and with that, Garrett, Cypher, you begin to make your way back through the streets of Kartov into Polter before returning towards the Baron's Folly. Now, since we're still in this downtime period, basically now passing the book over to you all. In fact, if I remember rightly, Vanya, you went out for a walk after getting your frog.
Yes, she did.
So, if there's nothing immediate that anyone wishes just to bring to our attention, shall we go and see what Vanya's up to?
Might as well.
Absolutely.
Let's.
I like how everyone there just leant back in their chair. So,
Need a drink.
let me get another... Yeah, I'm going to need another sip of alcohol for this. This is almost gone. Vanya, upon returning to the Baron's Folly, coroner in tow, the whole conversation in the Shadowed Circle about the coroner now staying as your guest. What do you do? What are you up to?
Well, her first thing is she's got something that she needs to go do, but she's not quite certain how to get there. So she's going to, as she's kind of exiting, she's going to go find Falco.
Okay. You make your way upstairs through the undercroft, up the stairwell into the basement of the Baron's Folly before exiting through the kitchen, where you find Falco sat at the table near the fire, feet up. At this point, it's mid-afternoon-ish, so the folly itself is now in full swing. There's various people sat at the tables, all drinking, eating. Lyella running drinks and food from the kitchen to the tables. Falco hears the door behind open as he looks over his shoulder, sees you, and offers you a single nodding greeting. Well, hello. You alright, Vanya?
Yeah, I'm great. I need something.
You need... Oh. He takes his feet off the table, sighs. Okay, this is rare for you to come to me needing something. He sits up straight and points to a chair on the opposite side of the desk for you to sit.
Well, you're not my first choice, but everybody else
Wow.
is busy.
What? Oh, all right. Take a seat, boss lady. Let's hear what you've got or what I can help you with.
Do you have a map?
A map of what? The city, the forest,
Like a bigger map?
of the world, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah. I've got a map of the, or at least most. Yeah, I've got an oldish one somewhere. And he begins to ruffle through some of the.
But-
Go on.
Oh, but I'm also gonna need also maps of, once I figure out where I'm going, of details of that city as well. So I don't know if you have a map book, can we...
I'm terribly sorry. It's not like I carry a... no, I don't have a map book. Just here, and he takes a small piece of parchment that's got a very hastily scribbled map of the whole of Etheris. Of Astoria, Burak, the Valican Wastes to the north, Castanel and provinces down south, and he just slides it over the table. There's a few X's that denote capital cities and points of interest, but it's not overly detailed.
Do you know, in general, which direction I should be going for the Sanguine Academy?
The Sanguine Academy's in the city. What do you want a map of the world for?
Okay, well, then I need a map of the city. I had no idea where it's at.
All right, oh, shit, hang on a minute. He begins to ruffle through again and produces another hand-drawn map. Slides it over the table. All right, this, got this from Valentina. And he begins to point on the map. In fact, let's just pop over to the map, shall we?
She is going to, while he's like paying attention to that, she's gonna take the map of the world, fold it up, and put it in her pocket, or in her satchel.
Okay. So, Falco first slaps a finger on lower streets down yonder. Alright, so we're here, yeah?
Right there. Right there?
Well, no,
right there is where we're at.
Somewhere under my finger, that's where he taps the map a few times. Alright, Sanguine Academy. And he begins to drape a finger across the top of the map to a very small island just to the north. And that, taps it a few times. Sanguine Academy, Arcanist Guild and all that. Just off the Cobalt Ward.
Oh.
So what, you're telling me that you want to get there?
Yes.
Oh.
What's the best route? What are you thinking? What street should I take?
Oh, I don't know. You're asking a man who's lived his entire life in lower streets. I mean, if I could sprout wings and fucking fly, then I guess that would be the quickest way over. But, I mean, my guess would be either coin floor, hitch a ride on one of the ships that sails north onto supply the war docks, or, I don't know, maybe a temple district might have something that pushes it through. Regardless, you're gonna have to probably speak to someone at the Merchants Guild in Coinflow for passage, because they're the ones who are moving ships and boats up and down the canals and into the waters.
Oh, I have to ask for permission.
Well, it's not so much permission, but unless you've got your own boat that can go across the waves.
Do we have a boat?
No.
Oh.
At that, you hear this voice pipe up in the background, a drunken, slurred voice as you hear a... I've got a boat you can ride if you want. I'll take you anywhere you want. Anywhere you want to go.
Where's your boat located?
Yeah. The man looks around, raises a thumbs up at a table behind him. Well, I mean, it's just down on the water, isn't it? Yeah, I've got a rowboat down on the water. Falco looks towards you, Vanya, and then at the man. I think he's pulling your leg, Vanya. That guy owes a tab of at least 4 silver behind the bar that he's not paid yet. if he's got a boat, then I've not fucking seen him move anything, and he never smells a fish. Smells more like shite.
Good point. And plus, if he had a boat, what's he doing here?
Yeah. The man swaggers to the side, slightly sloshing some of his ale out of the mug. Hey, this is the finest fucking establishment in Lower Street. I'll not have you sort of telling me that, what am I doing here? I've obviously got coin, haven't I? If I'm here.
Why don't you go wait in your boat for me?
Is there? Oh, all right. He turns around, looks at the table behind him, offers this giant shit-eating drunken grin as he nods. Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah. I'll wait in my boat for you. In fact, when you come out, we'll walk together, yeah? Look, we'll walk together and I'll take you down to Canal, yeah?
Vanya gives a stressed look at Falco.
I know, hang on. I'll do us a favour. Just hear Falco shout. And at that moment, Errol steps in from the main door, looks over at Falco, looks towards you, Vanya, looks towards the drunken man and just nods. There's a brief moment where Errol strolls up behind the man, taps him on the shoulder, grabs him by the scruff of his neck and just begins to drag him out. Just silently.
Well, coin flow, you say, huh? I was needing to talk to Jacqueline. So, okay, coin flow, and then
well, I'm not sure that's.
Temple District.
I mean, I don't. Again, I don't know. I'm only putting 2 and 2 together to get 4. But if anyone's got boats or ships that's going to move stuff from the main city up to the Northern Isles, then it's probably going to be someone at the Old Merchant Guild.
All right. Well, that's where I'm headed. Is the any other advice? And she's gonna take the map that he had, and she's also gonna put that in her pocket.
Oh, yes, it's the only map. Oh, for fuck's sake! All right, I'll get another one from Valentina. Advice. Have you got coin?
I've always got coin.
All right. Have you got a perky attitude?
Oh, you know I do.
Then I'm certain that you'll be absolutely fine. Absolutely fine.
And I mean, am I not exuding brightness and hope to you right now?
Falco leans in. Honestly, Vanya, you've been, I don't know, just... You seem a little haggard around the edges recently.
You mean not very ladylike?
Sure, let's go with that.
Well, my life is about being incredible, and I just need to turn it around and be more of a someone you can look up to, Falco, because it's obvious that I am not quite hitting that mark for you. So I am going to make sure that I come up here a little bit more regularly and instill some brightness in your life.
Actually, if you're going to instill some brightness, could you do me it'll be a big help. And he takes
I've got something that I have to do. And she gets up and walks out.
Puts the stack of books down and, all right, it was worth a try. As you step outside, Vanya, you just see this man disappear down the side of the Baron's Folly along with Errol, and then the sound of someone getting a good kicking. But you are, for all intents and purposes, good to travel wherever you wish.
All right. Well, her first stop is she's gonna go see Jacqueline.
Okay.
Because the ball is coming up, and she needs to be ready for that. And it's also kind of like sticking with her with what Falco said, like rough around the edges. So she needs to get her wardrobe up and going. She needs to be brighter.
Okay. You begin the journey from lower streets through Market Road, pushing past the crowd of vendors, customers, merchants, before eventually reaching the gate that leads into Coinflow. By this point, the wardens who operate from the gate are relatively familiar with you, and on top of the fact that you have the pin from the Sanguine Academy, also the House Vulpescu pin of the Sanguine Academy at that, there is no trouble getting through the gates. All of the wardens offer a respectful nod, and you are escorted for a few paces into Coinflow, and anyone who attempts to either bar or just may be in your way are hastily shoved aside by the wardens. You are not so much treated as royalty, but certainly get the feeling that, in regards to the wardens at least, you're pretty much a VIP.
And she really likes this feeling, and she's thinking in her head, you know, Falco could probably take some lessons from these individuals, because she didn't really feel this way with her interaction with him.
Now, granted, there has been a little bit of change in Coinflow recently. As you step through the gates and onto the cobbled streets of Coinflow, making your way towards the centre of the Coinflow district where Jacqueline's shop is located, you begin to see signs of fighting. Pieces of masonry, brickwork that's been smashed apart. The odd storefront that's not so much ransacked, but it seems that something, and perhaps something big, has come through here and caused a little bit of chaos. Every now and again, on the odd spot, the odd corner of a building, you would see the occasional small puddle of blood that's not yet been cleaned away.
She's just gonna kind of look around and take it all in, and continue on to her destination, but really trying to observe her surroundings and what has changed.
The sights of combat proceed even deeper into Coinflow until you eventually reach the street where Jacqueline's store is located, and it seems here that at least one or two of the buildings have been torched. Blackened, charred husks of buildings remain, and as you see Jacqueline's shop, it seems like the windows have been shattered, and there is wooden boards that have been put up on the outside just to keep out the elements for the moment.
Would she be able to tell, because you know how Reza got a storefront there, would she be able to tell if hers is still up and standing?
Roll me an insight check quick. So Reza's storefront was closer to the gate, and as you've made your way through Coinflow, you've seen that the damage has almost followed you from close to the gate. Putting two and two together, there is a chance that Reza's establishment may not be in the best of shapes. Considering the fact that that establishment was the one that may have been a Doctor safe house at one point, but without checking on it personally, you can only guess, and the guess is that it's probably not in a good state if this is what the middle of Coinflow looks like.
Would she? Well, no, because they weren't here before. I was just gonna say, like, would she have a feeling that kind of it's all kind of coming to an end, or is it ramping up?
No.
Okay.
It certainly seems like whatever fighting was happened here is now over. It's done. It's finished. There's no sounds of swords or steel in the air. There's no screaming. Whatever happened in Coinflow has been subdued. It's been knocked on the head, but there are still signs that combat, what happened here.
Okay.
So yeah, you've not got to worry about anything running around still doing damage. It seems that the damage has been done, and whatever caused the issue here has been dealt with. If it was a Doctore matter, it seems that the Merchant Guard weren't as prepared as you guys were.
Ooh. Well, she's going to continue, and she's going to kind of see if the door's open to Jacqueline's shop.
Roll me just a dexterity check, please, Vanya.
She's weak.
It's not that you're weak.
That's not straight. Yeah.
As you put your hand on the door and begin to push the door open, the door just falls inwards into Jacqueline's shop, clatters to the ground. The splintered wood echoes around her shop, and you just hear this, "Oh, for the love of all that is... yes, wait there, I'm coming. And Jacqueline pokes her head from the back room, sees the door on the floor. "Oh, you absolute brute! Oh. Hello, sweetheart."
You might need to replace that. It's it wasn't keeping anyone out.
No, that's because I propped it up. Did you try and open a propped up door, sweetie?
Yes, I probably should have knocked, but with things being boarded up, I wasn't certain if you were here or not, and I was just here to check on you.
Oh, little old me, you shouldn't have. But as you can see, I am absolutely fine. Apart from the weird squiggly tentacle creature that was making their way through the streets. In fact, there was quite a few of them. Caught us all by surprise, if I do say so myself. But you didn't come to talk to me about weird tentacle things. Come on, in, and I was going to say close the door, but at least prop it back up, if you'd be so kind.
She attempts to prop it back up.
It's not difficult. It's a door that's been slammed off its hinges. You just prop it up.
Well, are you still in business, or are you taking a break, or how are things?
Well, business is a little slow, considering the chaos that happened, but not really got many, as you've probably seen on your way in, there's not many people out on the streets at the minute, so I guess I'm taking it easy for a day or two, or at least until the Merchant Guild offer the recompense for the damage caused and the fact that they couldn't keep anything under control during the mayhem.
Are you would you like some business?
She just offers you a foxy, sly smirk as she slides up alongside you, wraps her arm around yours, Vanya, and guides you further into the shop. Always. What have you brought for me today? Apart from your lovely self, that is.
Sorry, hold up, my cup was overflowing. I had to sip it. Oh, well, I have a ball that's coming up, and I need to
You have a
I need to look
ball?
I need to look my best.
Whoa, whoa,
But
whoa, whoa, whoa.
there's some
Hold.
other things.
Ball? I don't know of any balls.
I don't know much about it either. I just know that I needed to get dressed and show up. That's more of a Garrett and Dorian Reza knows. I just go where I'm told.
Well,
Sometimes.
where is this ball? Do you have a +1?
Ooh. I don't know exactly where it's at. I can ask, but if I have a +1, would you like to go with me?
She just nods vigorously, giant puppy dog eyes.
So let me tell you this, Jacqueline. Let's be honest. The world right now, especially in your area, can feel a little ick sometimes. Do you get what I'm like?
Oh yeah, just ew. What's that?
Ugh.
What's that, sister?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and you can sometimes feel like you're stuck in a rut and you need a serious shaking. And she's gonna grab her and shake her.
Jacqueline just is shook. Her head flops back and forth for a moment. Yes, I understand.
But then let me tell you, I look at you and suddenly my ugh turns into to brilliant, like a sunshine.
Oh, well.
Yeah, it's like someone turned on lights and music is playing.
Well, I don't know what to say. The feeling's mutual.
Well, I have this crazy idea, and I kind of, since you were asking about the +1, it's a feeling deep down that, we could be the ones to maybe shake some things up. Not in a chaotic, throwing tables kind of way, though I wouldn't mind seeing a little of that sometimes. Just saying, more like a gentle earthquake. A ripple effect of hope.
At this point, Jacqueline's just nodding away. Yes, count me in any time. With you? Absolutely.
So you're saying yes, you want to cause a little hope quake with me?
If it's with you, I will do anything, darling. Anything.
Well, Well, I'll check and see on that +1 and let you know kind of where it goes from here, because maybe we'll even change the world along the way, especially if we get to do it together.
Jacqueline is just 110% now on board with what she's just nodding away, gripping your hand with both of hers as she nods. Yes, absolutely.
Well, and until then, I'm off. But if you don't mind making that dress, we could match, or but I want something bright. Something that screams hope. Beacon of hope.
Oh, and you want us to match? What, like sisters or something?
Partners in crime.
And
I mean, we're not really committing crimes or anything, just partners.
Not yet. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. That won't be a problem. Something, flashy, dazzling. Something to show off your beauty to the world. I can do that.
And yours too, of course. But if you don't want to match. You don't have to, but whatever you feel comfortable in. I want to make sure you feel at ease by my side.
Don't you worry about that, darling. I will... Well, if you're at my side, then ease is the only thing I can feel now, isn't it? So with that, though,
Well,
Jacqueline will pull away from you, Vanya, quickly dive behind her desk as she produces a small notebook and will start sketching a few rough designs, ideas, notes. Do you want me to come and see you when they're done, or?
oh yes, and maybe come ahead of time so we could do a personal fitting.
Consider it done.
I'll see you later. And she turns around to leave. And I trust in your designs and all of that. I know you know me. And we'll produce something that speaks Vanya.
So the list ball of yours that'll be our date, yes?
Yes. Yes.
Jacqueline offers you a brief wave, grinning ear to ear as you step out of the shop. Roll me a dexterity check again, please, Vanya, for the door.
Oh gosh.
This time, you just slide the door to the side, step out, and put it back.
It's good. She's beaming with confidence because that went well. Like, so she's just kind of, everything's going her way right now.
Yeah. So you step back onto the streets of Coinflow. As Jacqueline pointed out, yes, it's a lot emptier than the last time you were here. There are still the occasional wagons being drawn and goods moving around, but nowhere near the amount of people that you've seen before. Some of the lampposts that hold the magical crystals that illuminate the district have been bent and broken. Whatever crystals were in there, no longer visible, perhaps either acquired by merchants or individuals. Perhaps the merchant guards picked them up. Who knows? But there's a sense of unease in the air still, but that of also hope and a rebuild, because of course wherever there is war and there is combat, there is always coin to be made, and in the heart of the Coinflow district, who knows what backroom deals are being made.
Vanya is going to see this as a perfect time for her sisters to
spread into Coinflow. Yes. Bring forth the cult.
Yes, because they need it right now. Okay. So then her next stop is going to be the Merchant Guild.
Okay. So last week, there was talks of someone coming with you and meeting you in Coinflow. Is that still happening, or is Vanya doing this solo?
No, she's riding solo for this one.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I think I creeped him out after that last encounter. I was like, yeah,
Hey, you have one job and you came back with a car now. All right.
Listen, no, my one job was to get the frog, and I was successful. Was that not it?
Nope.
No.
So.
No, it's more fun if you go on your own. For me, at least. Not for you.
You begin to meander your way through the streets of Coinflow, eventually reaching the large central building that resides in Coinflow Square, that of the Merchant Guild's headquarters. Here, the white stoned building with what looks to be a golden arch over the gate welcomes you. On the outside of the building stands several of the Merchant Guard, along with a familiar-looking sight of a yellow-robed individual. One of the Merchant Guild higher-ups, is probably the best way. Financiers, perhaps.
She will approach that individual.
As you approach him, he's sat behind almost like a makeshift desk. There's a raised wooden platform with several desks that are has a multitude of clerical staff moving to and from the desks into the Merchant Guild's headquarters and back out in a continual throng of activity. The Merchant Guard, who are positioned around, are watching over I would say a queue of about 30 or so people. All of them, as you glance across this queue, Van, you see that they're merchants. They're all well dressed, either store owners or stall, vendors of Coinflow. And at the head of the line, as one person steps up onto this slightly raised platform, they hand over books, documents to this financier who's sat behind this wooden desk. Roll me a perception check.
Working on it. Hold on one second.
All right. Solid. You immediately not only overhear but see that this seems to be a line of individuals who are either looking for compensation or help in the costs to rebuild their business. There's a few murmurs in the queue of some talking that the Merchant Guard and the Merchant Guild have offered coin to those whose businesses were affected by the recent disturbance in an attempt to quicken the rebuild of the district. But obviously things like receipts, trade ledgers, things that were lost need to be provided.
Vanya is going to take a moment and kind of step aside and you know what? No, not yet. She is going to make her way to the front of the line.
Okay. You make your way and you just see a few scowls in your direction. A couple of voices call out, "What do you think you're doing? There is a queue here, madame! Rude!
It'll only take a few minutes.
Rude!
It's okay.
Get in the queue, you
Things will
fiend!"
happen. Things will happen for you. You will be able to rebuild. There is hope.
This gentleman steps out to raise a hand to bar your way past him in the queue. "I have been waiting here for the last 2 hours, and you just think you can stroll on forth and get... No! I say no, ma'am! Back of the queue! Back! Back with you!
Oh,
Back!
sir, I can just feel it coming from you. Nothing can dim the light that shines from within you.
Guards!
You have
She's
hope.
pushing! She's pushing guards!
Your perspective is unique. It's important. It counts. Don't just follow someone blindly. Keep that strength up, because you will persevere.
Guards, we
And
have a
she just
lunatic!
pushes forward.
We have a lunatic! All of the merchant guards are just stood there shaking their heads as this green-haired, green-robed merchant just seems to go off on an absolute tirade towards you. You have no money. You should not be... Someone, do something. I will give I will give you 50 gold, 100 gold. Get into the back of the queue.
Who you are inside is what helps you make and do everything in life. I would keep that coin to rebuild. And then she keeps pushing forward.
Yeah. This guy's just walking behind you now at this point going, no, I will not allow it. I refuse to have you push in. No. As you get to the front. The man sat behind the counter, glances over you, Vanya, offers a respectful nod, and then turns to his left to one of the merchant guard. I'm terribly sorry. If you could remove the green-robed gentleman from the queue. It seems we have an important visitor. One of the guards nods, walks towards the green-robed merchant, grabs him by the back of his cloak, and just begins to forcefully drag him away. You say this, what is... No! Do you not know who I am? I could have you all forced out of business, and you witch! You say the guard like, all right, go on, enough of this shit. Shut up, back in the queue.
Just tell him he is good enough. He is good enough.
Did you hear that, Sunshine? You're good enough. Now fuck off, back in the queue. But my place? You see all the other merchants have now just bunched up in the space where he was. He was only, probably 4 or 5 individuals back from the queue, and now he's been forced to the back of 30. And the guard just stands there, arms folded, as he drags him to the back of the queue and stands next to him. You just hear a, well, congratulations, Sunshine. Looks like I'm babysitting you till you get to the very front now. Yeah, you fucked up. Anyway, at the front, the financier from the Merchants Guild looks towards you, Vanya. My apologies for the disturbance, my lady. I noticed that you are part of the House of Valpescu. And he raises a hand and motions towards the pin on your chest.
She's gonna rub it, like to shine it up with her sleeve. Yes, so, before I begin, what, I've heard some murmurs in the line. What's happened here? What's going on?
Well, this is the queue for recompense in regards to the recent disturbance. A terrorist group in black clothing, white masks caused a bit of a disturbance. A few creatures they let loose in the coin flow. Sadly, the guard at the time were unable to deal with them, so they caused minimal disturbance and destruction across a few selected premises. Nothing that we can't afford to replace, of course, my lady, but it did require the intervention of some of the wardens to step in, and along with a few sanctioned majors from the Sanguine Academy.
How's the population feeling right now? A little unnerved?
Absolutely unnerved, and if I dare say so. And he looks to the other guards who are around, and one of the merchant guard officers turns and says, Dodge, you're more than welcome to tell her we will not be offended and we understand. The man nods. Well, yes, there have been a few rumours amongst the populace that the merchant guard are not capable of doing their job. But the response to that is, when tentacled abominations like that appear, it's not something you can expect nor plan for.
Oh, of course not. I mean, definitely that's probably not in your 5-year plan, right?
The merchant guard captain steps up and nods. Yep, sadly, not exactly something we are trained to deal with, my lady, but, we lost, about 35 good guardsmen that day. But
Ooh, what's that put your like what percentage of that is to your guard? Is that a huge detriment?
it's a noticeable amount, milady, but nothing that we can't replace.
Do you notice any weaknesses or anything that when you were fighting those individuals that you now have experience now?
As much as I would love to answer your question, milady, unless you are of House Moretti, I am under obligations to not answer any further. I've already said too much.
I appreciate you. I'm a lifelong learner. I love to ask questions. So please, yes, let me know when I'm going too far, because I just like to learn. So let me get to, because look at this line here. They're all needing some help, and I want to get to the point.
Hurry up! I've been waiting here for hours, and I'm in the back of the queue now.
And that individual in the green, he's something else, isn't he? He could probably incite a riot. So I want to move this along.
Yes, of course. How may we of the Merchant Guild be of assistance today, my lady?
Well, I stand here today on the edge of uncertainty, the shores of a world that often feels shrouded in shadows. I see the rising tides of doubt, the swirling currents of despair, and the storm clouds of fear gathering on the horizon. I hear the cries of those adrift, lost in the fog, searching for a guiding star.
Yeah.
Are you following me?
Every word, my lady.
I cannot stand idly by.
Lunatic! I told you she is a lunatic, raving mad woman. At that, you just see the guards at the far end of the queue, like, all right, enough of this, come on, sunshine, enough of this shit now. It's starting to be a problem.
He's really unhinged, isn't he?
I'll get you all as you can.
But I cannot remain on these shores, watching as the darkness deepens. I must act. I must reach out. I must illuminate hope.
What are you doing with that club? Not in the mouth! Not in the... The guard captain glances over, clears his throat. Apologies, my lady. He'll quiet down in a moment. The financier looks over and nods. Yes, that's... I understand, my lady. If I may ask again, what is it you want from the Merchant Guild?
I probably wasn't being clear. I need a vessel. I need a way to carry out my beacon of hope across these turbulent waters of our times.
So you wish to buy a ship?
No, I need a ride. I need to get to the academy. Unless you want to give me a ship.
I would love to. Can you not just use the usual teleportation sigil that you're given from the academy? As I notice you are from the academy. Is that not an option?
I was not instructed. How do you...
I mean, I don't know the details, milady. That's how all of those from the Sanguine Academy move via the secret safe rooms. I believe I may have said too much. Yes, we can secure you passage across the water, across Black Harbor to, at least to the Cobalt Ward.
Rooms. Could you tell me like where one of these you've seen this happen,
I
and
haven't.
maybe I can go and inspect?
I haven't seen them, my lady. It's only hearsay.
All right. Well, so you said I need to head to the Black Harbor. Is that
No, we
is that
we can secure you passage across Black Harbor to the Cobalt Ward on a vessel. It will take several hours before the next ship is due to set sail, I believe. Hold on. It takes a book from under the desk and begins to look over it before nodding. Yes, there is a shipment going out in about 2 hours' time to the Cobalt Ward. I can secure you passage on that vessel if you wish.
Does she sense that she can trust this individual? Is he acting nervous or?
Roll me an insight check. Who knows? Who knows? It's a one. Who knows?
What about? I don't know if that's the type of grandeur entrance that I would like to make. What about a Navy ship? Or is there any kind of guard ships or anything like that? Something a little bit more fancy than a crate of goods.
I mean, you would need to continue into speak with one of the warden garrisons. I mean, the nearest one with a dock would be just off in Temple.
And do you feel that those ships are more pretty?
Even those from the Barak Empire have said that the aesthetics of the Astoyan Navy is sight to behold. So, whether for better or worse, they're certainly noticeable.
I shall head there. Okay. Anything that I should know about other than that of them? That they have pretty ships?
The man just shrugs, looks towards the guard captain. Nothing from me, my lady. I mean, part of the Sanguine Academy, I would, no offence to you, I would assume that you would have no doubt seen them, but I can offer a couple of individuals to escort you to the gate, at least a lantern, and then from there, no doubt wardens themselves will be happy to lend whatever assistance.
Do you feel my safety is needed?
Not
An escort? Well, you know, I do quite like an escort. So yes, let's do that.
very good, my lady. In that case, Gerard, Daneth, you two escort the Lady Sanguine Mage here towards the gates, toward the bridge. Make sure she gets there safe sound. None of those black-cloaked, white-masked freaks jump out of the shadows. There's a quick snap from two of the merchant guard as they salute the officer and then come rushing up to flank you on your left and right, Vanya.
Ooh. This is a way to treat a lady. I mean, Listen, we won't go into it. We've got to get these individuals the resources that they need, and we have to head out. So, thank you for your time. Please do see that the gentleman in the green gets what he needs. And then she turns around and walks
Don't you
out.
worry about that, milady. He will certainly get all due care and attention that he needs.
And as she turns around, she's gonna wave bye at the guy in the green as she's heading out.
All right, give me 2 seconds. I need a really ostentatious name. Come on, someone give me a really pompous name for this guy.
Francois.
More. I want
More?
something more just unpleasant to the Reginald Thwartbottom. I mean Reginald's a good name. Yeah,
Reginald is up there. Yeah.
yeah. Let's go for Reginald.
Wilberforce.
All right, I'm gonna combine. We're gonna go for we'll go for Reginald Silverbottom. Done. The third.
Oh, I like it. Like having the third at the end of it. That's very
Yeah.
pretentious. Yeah.
All right. So let's see if good old Reginald passes his Constitution ability check, as he's just been filled in by a guard behind the back. You just you wouldn't see any sign of him, Vanya. As you glance around, you'd probably just see the kicking legs from an alley as the merchant guard dragged him into a back alley somewhere. So there we go.
Poor guy.
Reginald Wilberforce Silverbottom the third. Done. There we go. All right. I'm keeping that guy in the back pocket for later. So go on.
Will you allow, I mean, which like telepathic link, like I'm a long ways away from Garrett. Do I need to write him a letter, or will you allow me to telepathically link with him?
I believe you are way out of range for telepathic link. And I
Yeah.
think you need to see him first to be able to cast it.
Okay.
So it's sadly going to have to be an enchanted scroll.
You know me, Solution. I tried to get
Yeah.
as much leeway as possible. So would you allow her, as she's walking with these individuals, to be writing
Absolutely. Yeah,
on the
that's not a problem.
scroll?
It's not a problem.
Okay.
You can do that. And it's it would be
So-
a 10-15 minute walk through the rest of Coinflow towards the Silver Canal Pass gate.
So she's going to write a letter to Garrett, just kind of giving an update on the state of coin flow and like how, you know, the crystals have either been taken or stolen. And then also to give kind of an update on what the Merchant Guild is doing to try to rebuild confidence in the city, and letting him know that that there's a lot of uncertainty in the city right now, and that it might be a good time for us to kind of help rebuild
Capitalize.
in a sense.
Love it. Okay, so this is going to take 15 or so minutes for you to make your way to Canal Pass. Whilst you're doing that, I think at that point, it's been an hour and 15. Adverts are about to start. Shall we call a quick refill on the break?
Yes.
Boom. All right. Oh. Folks, we will be right back. Don't you know who I am? I'm Reginald Wilberforce Silverbottom, the Fard of Brimhaven Silverbottoms. I have connections, you know. You will rue the day. There you go, Devious. That's for you. All right, I'm going to refill the drink. I will be right back. I'm back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Thank you. That one. Well, I've just found a new favourite character.
What could possibly go wrong?
Next story arc. The Vengeance of Reginald Wilberforce Silverbottom III.
He's gonna build an army, and that's who we're gonna fight next.
Yeah. He's coming. Alright. So, Vanya, with the message in the air
Oh,
and...
before it's sent, she's gonna end it with, P.S. I'm bringing a +1 to the ball.
With the message up in the air, it hovers 20 so feet above your head for a few seconds, Vanya, before it seems to self-right, and then you just see it just shoot off in the direction of the folly. You make your way to the gate house that leads to Silver Canal Pass, the giant bridge that crosses the river from Coinflow into the Lantern District. Here, your two merchant guard escorts hand you over to the wardens, and in a similar vein, they too, then, with two wardens at your side, begin to escort you across Silver Canal Pass in the direction of Temple District. It's another 20 or so minutes as you make your way over Silver Canal Pass through a brief stint in the Lantern Districts before eventually reaching Temple. Boop. Here, as you step into Temple District, it's a familiar look. You've been here once before, twice actually, on the way in and out. The large, imposing ruins of the Vos Santra Cathedral. In fact, roll me a perception check, Vanya.
I was gonna say, it's kind of all coming back to her now. She's like, oh, I have seen this. Kind of like, now I get it. Okay.
So, every perception check is basically a crit. Everything else is a crit fail for you tonight.
Yeah, I like to balance it.
Yeah. With your... Bear with me when I grab what I need. As you make your way through the Temple District and you glance up towards the ruins of the cathedral, you see something perched on the tallest spire of the cathedral ruins. At first, it looks to be a circular form, something as if just crouched, hunched up on the tower. And there, with it being a crit, you see these giant wings unfurl. This creature raises itself to its full height. Against the dim glow of the clouds ahead, you would see what appears to be a huge bat-like monstrosity.
Which, didn't we already kind of perceive these the last time that we were in there? Like the gargoyles?
The gargoyles, yes. But this
but
giant
this is different.
bat creature that looks to be easily 20 feet tall with a wingspan of perhaps 40 to 50 feet. This is huge.
Which go ahead.
if one would stack whatever this thing is on top of the cathedral next to a dragon, who knows which would win?
Could I ride it?
Oh, absolutely.
No, I'm just joking.
Yeah, this thing could fit easily 10, 20 people on its back. It is huge.
So, given like she knows from their past experience with dealing with like bats and stuff, would she know that this would be potentially a vampire, and would this be like, would she have any history of knowing that this is like an old one?
Roll me a history check.
Come on, crit.
You would have heard rumors, perhaps, of a giant winged beast of the dark that listens only to the Grand Duke of the Crimson Court. A name, the Corruptian Bearmoth, springs to mind. But
Corruptian Guermart?
Sure. That's what you've heard.
What?
Don't know. I just totally messed that up. Go ahead, continue.
Corruptorin Behemoth.
No, I was going to go with the first one. I was going to let her go with that because that would have been hilarious. Everyone would be like, what?
Seriously, like, she's not going to get this right.
But yeah, rumors is that supposedly there is a giant bat-like monstrosity that listens only to the Grand Duke of Novostoya. And perhaps even the odd rumour that in battles past he may have even rode this thing into war.
Would she get a sense? Is it aware of her presence? Is it watching her?
Rumour states that it watches everybody. But from this distance, I mean, again, this is easily half a mile away, if not more, kilometre or two. No, less, about a kilometre away in high up. So it's just there. It's just something that you notice. It may notice you, it may not. But whatever it's doing, it's just sat on the top of the ruins of the cathedral, spreading its wings for a moment as if stretching, before it then huddles back down into this crouched position on the tallest spire.
Being by herself, she's not gonna try to avoid it, even though it sees everything, but just not get real close.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you got two wardens with you as well, who are escorting you towards the docks.
Okay, so they're taking me the full way.
They're taking you the full way.
Okay, I thought maybe they were just gonna leave me at the gates, but okay. All right.
So, a short jaunt later, you arrive at a guarded checkpoint that leads towards the dockland of the Temple District. Here, you would see several wardens on patrol, a couple of groups, a multitude of labourers and workers, serfs moving goods on and off some of the ships. One of the wardens at the checkpoint holds up a hand as you and your two escorts approach.
Afternoon. Rare to see someone being escorted by...
And he offers a nod to the two wardens who respond back. VIP, nothing of note, just House Vulpescu Sanguine Academy requests position on a vessel across to Cobalt.
Is that so?
The warden looks
Yes,
towards you, Vanya.
I need a captain. I think is that what you call them as captains, that navigate a vessel. And she's gonna make like a wave motion with her hand.
Okay. 2 seconds. The guard begins to nod.
All right. I mean, yes, captain is the one who tends to helm a vessel. Where you say you're going to the Cobalt Ward, milady?
I believe so. I think she pulls her map up.
Cobalt Ward is exactly where you're wanting to go. It's the district just before the Sanguine Academy.
Yes, that's exactly right here, and she's pointing at the map. That's where I need to go.
Well, I imagined you'd want to go to the Sanguine Academy. I mean, could you... there's a ship that...
Yeah, that's where...
Vessel's departing in about 20 minutes if you wish to get aboard.
Yeah, oh, yes, yeah, will you take me there?
Me personally, milady, no, but...
Can someone? I don't want to get lost if I only have 20 minutes.
Well, there's a... follow me.
He waves the 2 guards away as he motions for you to follow him down to the docks, Vanya.
I thank you so much. You have no idea the impact that you're making right now by you taking me. You're extraordinary.
I appreciate the sentiment, milady. Yeah, the vessel that's heading out, it's... where is the captain?
And at this point, as you're walking along the pier, there's 3 ships in docks that are getting goods loaded on, but at the far end you would see a rather large Astoyan warship. Several ballista line the top of the deck, and barking orders from the back helm of the vessel seems to be a man dressed in a long black trench coat, several flintlocks in holsters across his chest, and the typical wide-brimmed hat of a sailor, a tricorn.
She approaches him.
As you do, the warden calls out,
Captain, I believe there is someone who would like to request a voyage on the vessel, since you're heading for resupply shortly.
Sorry, Rayvon. No, I've got to deny that one. With that one, the captain looks down towards you, Vanya.
Is that so? Well, in that case, come aboard, lass.
Captain, you have no idea how appreciative I am that you're letting me charter your vessel. You navigate by charts and stars, by the feel of the wind and the roll of the waves. You've seen the world. Yes.
Introductions be the best thing first. Vincent Baraka at your service. Who be the fine lady stepping aboard me vessel?
This is I'm Vanya. I'm known by many other names, but you can call me Vanya. Vanya Valentine.
Vanya Valentine. Well, I can see that you're part of the old.
He motions towards the pin.
Not often that I get many from the Valpescu household aboard me vessel, but...
Well, I like to ride the waves every now and then myself.
Well, if that be the case, then perhaps we could have you accompany us a few other times. Now, we'll be pushing out in about 10 to 15. And we're heading towards the Cobalt Ward just over the bay. Journey time will take about 45 minutes, if that's be all right with ye.
That's perfect. I like to take I like to take that time to reflect on my goals and what could be, you know. I'm a dreamer, an idealist.
Is that so? A dreamer and an idealist? Well, out on the waters, it's not like they'll do you much good out there.
No. Well, I mean, you see, I'm here to create change, to bring about hope. You see, the world feels heavy right now. People are adrift, lost in a sea of uncertainty. They're looking for a beacon, a light on the horizon. And I believe that beacon can be myself. But you know I can't get there on my own, and that's why you're helping me.
Well, I mean, if you want to stick yourself on the bowsprit, lads, you can certainly be a beacon from there. But for the moment,
He thumbs over his shoulder towards the cabin.
make yourself at home there.
Can I just say, sorry to interrupt you, but your voice brings me calmness and peace, like I've known you for years.
Is that so? Well,
Yes.
that'd be terribly unfortunate. Perhaps we could get to know each other more in the coming days. In fact,
He leans in towards you, Vanya.
there's, since I'd be doing ye a favour, perhaps, you wouldn't mind doing me one in the near future, should a man of my position require the intervention of one of the noble houses, perhaps.
Oh, here's what I can do for you. I can invest in your future.
Nay, lass, I don't need no
Where-
investment.
No.
I'm part of the Navy.
Where you have questions, I have answers. Where you have dreams, I can make them fly.
Whilst this conversation is going on, the ship has been made ready. And whilst he's talking to you, Vanya, at some point the captain would just shout, "All hands, depart." And with that, the ship will begin to cross Black Harbour Bay. But is there anything in particular you're wanting from Captain Vincent? Baraka.
Well, since he's wanting something in return, she's basically offering him a contract, but not a favor.
The captain looks down.
So, this be what ye lot do for, high-end house shit is contracts.
I'm sorry, did you just sneeze? What'd you say?
Is me word not enough? And you got to have it down on a bit of paper.
Well, I am more about offering you to be a part of something extraordinary and to have, to chart your course towards a brighter future.
Yeah, I
I'll make your
need
dreams
something
come
more tangible than just hopes for a future. What I'm looking for is that if I get into any shite, that I've got someone in the old houses that have got me back. Now that's what I'm looking for.
I could give you the sense of that, yes.
It's a simple yes or no. Oh, well, don't you worry about it. But no, I'm not going to sign your paper. Though I do appreciate the hopes and prayers, the vibes that you be dealing me with.
Well, maybe one day I can come back with a better offer. We'll not say this is the end, but the beginning of negotiations.
All right.
A friendship. A friendship. That's. Would you like to be my friend?
Sure. Why not?
And he extends a hand towards you, Vanya.
It's always good to have friends in high places.
Exactly. And I will be back for you, my friend.
With that, though, the captain will turn to the rest of the crew and start barking a few orders, getting the various sailors ready to receive whatever goods, ammunition, stores that they need to pick up from Cobalt Ward once they dock. The journey lasts another half an hour after the initial talk with the captain before you eventually slowly begin to make into the docks at the Cobalt Ward on the opposite side of the bay to the city. With the ring of an anchor dropping down, several boards drop to the quay, and your Sanguine Academy House of Vulpescu pin basically giving you the royal treatment. No one says no. You breeze through all of the guards on the docks. No papers need to be presented. Just a quick flash of the pin and you are waved through. The Cobalt Ward itself is similar to the East Commons. A lot of the buildings, it's rather than the large tall buildings like the rest of the city, a lot of the buildings here in the Cobalt Ward are more square, uniform in nature, and almost militaristic. And it's here you would begin to see that this district seems to be a place where some of the wardens live, and perhaps a few of the scribes, the orderlies from the Sanguine Academy. Streets are clean. There's no signs of any upheaval, nothing that would cause concern. In fact, it feels quite safe. But this, of course, is not your destination, and as you begin to track down the central road that leads from the Cobalt Dock wards, you see, just over the tops of the building, the towering spires of the Arcanists Guild. Or you would.
If I could see anything.
If you could see anything. There we go. Making your way up to the main road, you see a large bridge that extends over the ocean towards a separate island. Here, in the distance, the spires of the Arcanists Guild, and this entire island is known as the Sanguine Academy. The bridge itself, though, Vanya, is about 120 feet long, and at the far end of it, a large iron gate with two individuals in black and crimson robes standing guard.
She approaches them.
All right.
Hello.
There's a nod from one of the guards. Greetings. How may we assist?
I'm here to learn.
A moment. He holds up a hand towards you, Vanya, and you begin to hear him cast the spell of Detect Magic. As the incantation finishes, a wave of arcane energy washes over you as he nods. Okay. Lepel Vulpescu, I see.
Yes, and once I get inside, who do I need to talk to navigate me? Do I get a special
First time? Hence,
Yes.
Yes, hence the bridge and the walking rather than just teleporting in.
I have lots to learn. I need
You
like
really
a
do,
one-on.
sweetheart, really
Yes.
do. Yes.
Mhm.
He'll turn towards the other guard, and there'll be a brief nod. Zabaris, I believe this is something you're more inclined to do. Introductions, showing people around, so if you would do me the honours, take this fair lady into the academy and send a replacement. The relatively younger looking mage glances over to you, Vanya, glances back to the more seasoned sanguine mage and nods. Yes, very well. I will do all I can to assist the initiate in welcoming her to the Sanguine Academy. Zabaris, a pleasure.
Yeah, I am Vanya. And I'm here to learn from you. I guess, can we start with a tour, or do you have kind of like an itinerary of first timers? How long is this gonna take?
It depends. Do you... Come, we shall discuss things more in a more suitable location.
No, are you okay? Do you need anything? Like a snack? I've got a whole satchel of snacks.
I appreciate the gesture, but come. We will discuss things on academy grounds.
Oh, okay. So we are technically not in academy grounds right now. Noted.
He motions a hand towards the gates, and here you see these two iron gates begin to creak open. Unnaturally smooth, though. There's a brief creak from the wood before eventually the doors just sweep open. Here, as you follow Zabaris, the familiar gloom of Novostoya is left behind you. Here, as you step into the grounds of the Sanguine Academy, the stone beneath your very feet just feels ancient, as if it's been immersed in arcane energies for years and years. You see the odd sigil, the odd rune that glows, some on walls, some on the floor. Roll me an Arcana check. You've seen a lot of runes, and in fact you've learnt some magic of your own recently, and it seems that this open courtyard beyond the gate is wall to wall full of various trap runes. So should anyone step into the academy through the main gate without perhaps the proper credentials, there's a chance that they would be hit with all manner of spells.
Interesting. She's going to ask as they're going through. So does this mean that I cannot bring a +1? How would I bring a +1?
They would need to be sanctioned either by one of the great noble houses or fill in the required forms and go through the process to join the Sanguine Academy.
Forms. How long does that process take?
If they're coming in from the streets, 4 or 5 months, perhaps.
Okay.
The air here, Vanya, is different than the rest of the city. It's almost charged, expectant, as if the very air itself is humming with the latent magic. Beyond the bridge, the Sanguine Academy unfolds like a world apart, a completely different view than you've ever seen before. The central courtyard seems to splinter and spider off into narrow streets that wind beneath towering Gothic structures of blackened brick. The windows and artworks here seem to be mostly stained glass, very high end. You've got violets, blood red, sickly green in colour, all of them different designs, different patterns, all perhaps some showcasing battles against the Black Empire or of great wizards who have... Sorry, music's a bit loud. Some of the greater wizards, the archmages who have mastered the various spells of their schools. Some of the buildings lean unnaturally, some standing straight, others bowed as if whispering to other buildings. Here, though, the lanterns are not like the rest of the city. There isn't the blue-hued crystals or the whale oil burning lanterns. No. Most of the lanterns here appear to be arcane in nature, with a burning purplish arcane orb. As your guide begins to make his way further through the narrow streets, you begin to smell old parchment, incense burning, and of course the ever-present metallic tang of blood in the air.
Could I ask you a question really quick?
Go for it.
Would she get a sense of, with this academy, that if she were to talk about anything within these halls, that would, that there is kind of like that it's forbidden, that there's a binding to her?
No binding at all. You would see various, again, robed figures, all of them moving around, students of the academy. They would be talking freely in the streets. Imagine the interior of the academy is not as a building itself. Imagine it more as this is a small town unto itself. The buildings are all haphazard crammed into this small island, and you would see a lot of the buildings are on the ground level seem to be like vendors, stalls selling magical curiosities, potions, the weird and wonderful grimoires, tomes, you name it, it's all there. It's only when you look up to these buildings that you would see the upper levels of these stores seem to be the living accommodations for some of the mages. The Grand Arcanist Guild itself, the actual school, is off to the the western side of the Sanguine Academy, and that is the large castle-like building. In fact, yeah, to make it easier to envisage the street, let's just do this. There you go.
Like a tourist, she's gonna ask, "Oh, who lives in those buildings? Are they famous? Are they and she's pointing to where like the mages live.
That's where most of the students of the Arcanists Guild reside. It's a self-contained ecosystem here, but the Grand Mages of the Sanguine Academy, they reside within the Arcanists Guild itself. And he points over towards the large castle in the distance. The largest tower is where the private chambers of all the Grand Archmages live.
Oh, what makes them grand? Is that kind of like a professor or
Yes, they can have all experience in the multitude of schools of magic. I have seen some of them cast fireballs larger than a battleship.
Oh, that's large. Are we permitted to explore their areas, or is that off limits?
The private chambers of the Grand and the Archmages is certainly off limits.
Oh, yeah.
Perhaps if you got a personal invite, they could tutor you, even for one such as yourself, as a house mage.
Oh, do they do that? Do they take on maybe like a star pupil or how do we apply for that?
You are asking the wrong person.
Oh,
He just
I will ask.
smiles, quite a sad smile, as you continue meandering your way through the streets. But yeah, here you would see that there is a almost unimaginable amount of magical goods and materials here. For you, Vanya, this is, I would imagine, a whole new world. The fact that mages are out in the open, you would see some of them just casting spells as they walk. Any and all goods, even grimoires, tomes, are out on sale. It's yeah.
It's like Disney World for her.
It is Disney World for mages. The only place that, again, the sanctioned mages of Novostoya can openly practice magic.
So as they're walking, she's gonna ask him, so I heard a rumor about portals. Like, did I not have to walk this entire way here?
No.
Oh.
All of the warden outposts, gatehouses, keeps all have secluded chambers used by the Sanguine Academy for the transportation purposes, teleportation.
Oh, well, how do I use those?
You just tell the wardens of the gatehouse that you are using the transportation room and show them your credentials.
I don't have to do any kind of incantation. I just walk into it and it happens.
Well, you need to inject a certain amount of magic into the circle so that it activates a cantrip of some sort, but you are new here, aren't you?
Oh, yes. Did you not get that from, like, the beginning?
I understood that you were new here, but you are new here.
I'm like a baby still wearing diapers right now.
Well, I didn't wish to put it that way, but yes.
Yes, you must potty train me in the way of the Sanguine Academy. Like, from the ground up, I am going to... Yes.
Then it seems we have much work to do. Come. So, for the sake of... Vanya, you're going to be spending the next, I would imagine, at least day, maybe 2 here.
Yes.
As you are shown around the Sanguine Academy, taken to the Arcanist Guild for processing, the official inauguration of you as a Sanguine Mage, which by extension will give you access to the multitude of learning rooms, study rooms, libraries. So, with that said, any questions or anything that you wish to ask about the Arcanist Guild and the Sanguine Academy at large?
Well, I guess... So she would have access to basically anything except for probably private areas now that she's been kind of initiated in. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Yeah, so there would be a certain sort of, let's say, tier of spell that would be locked away. So anything like, I would say, 6th level spells or higher are restricted at the moment, considering you're a new initiate. Or
Okay.
you're kind of the golden child who was given the special badge and walked into class as, you know, and the exchange student who's got a very rich mummy.
Would she have I'm gonna go back to my Harry Potter terms,
Okay.
but would she have access to like the restricted area of like, you know, any histories or anything like that?
You would, to a certain extent. It depends exactly on. In fact, roll me an investigation check.
Okay.
If we're sticking with Harry Potter, she's definitely a Hufflepuff.
How are you three hanging on, by the way? Are you good there? Are you good?
I just want to see how it plays out.
Yeah,
I'm just loving this.
good. You're all right there, Dorian.
I'm just glad that I haven't died yet. Dorian's already checked out.
It's done.
He's muted up.
Oh, yes.
Oh, he is.
All right, so with that, Vanya, yes, I would say there is what you would expect or think to be perhaps restricted information. Some of it is available for perusal in the open libraries.
Okay. Would there be any extracurricular activities that they do that she could get involved in for networking?
Absolutely.
Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know how some schools are. Yeah.
Well, yeah, roll me a give me a persuasion roll.
You're just gonna make me roll all kinds of
I am.
dice today.
I am. Holy shit. I'm going to let you have a think and you know, I'm not going to take this away from you. I'm using these rolls. I'm going to let you concoct what you do here, who you network with, what you find out, you know. So this is my gift to you as DM to basically say you've got free reign to an extent of your friends and influence in the Sanguine Academy. As for the exact details, you don't have to say it now, and I'll give you a week to think about it, and we'll come back because you've got at minimum 2 days to spend here. You would be given a dorm room in one of the above one of the shops within the Sanguine Academy, just because it's part and parcel of being a Sanguine mage. So you would have your own place here as well.
Perfect. Is there anything special that she needs to wear while she is there? And then that's probably going to be her last question.
Yes, you would have to wear, whilst you're in the academy grounds, the black robe, crimson accents, basically a robe of the Sanguine Academy, to show that you are a mage. Now, granted, there is a little bit of leeway with headdress and accessories. But as a base, you would have to wear the black robe that has red embroidery.
Perfect. I think that will be it for her questions for now, and she's just gonna as for now, she's just gonna kind of take it in like the first day, and then like kind of get her tour, and then eventually she'll make her way to the library.
So there's two things I'm going to say to here is, one, with regards to the library, I will allow you to pick a spell to learn.
I have it.
And two, you would notice on academy grounds that there does seem to be a heavy push towards necromancy. And you would see in some of the open testing areas that a lot of the Sanguine mages are raising the dead, either zombies or skeletons.
Interesting.
Roll me an Arcana check.
All right. Okay. That opens up a whole slew of questions.
Holy shit.
Okay, fucking hell, 31. It seems to be that after a few hours at most, that the mages either lose control of the undead or whatever magics were holding the undead together unravel. This causes some zombies to go out of control, go feral, skeletons to just break apart and crumble.
Before that happens, what so the questions on that is what are they attempting to get them to do?
Just
And then
exist.
Oh, go ahead.
Just purely
to
exist. Yeah. For whatever reason. So go on.
But not trying to get them to like are there any like target dummies or anything like that
there
where they're
would be.
trying
Yeah,
to fight?
They'd be trying to run all sorts of tests, just in general, just trying to control the undead. Because has no one ever wondered why the Crimson Court vampires don't have an undead army? But they have creations, automatons, bloodwork things. Just put it out there. So, but that's all I'm going to say on that matter for now, because that's something you'll have to dig into if it interests you.
So and when they go out of control, do we see them casting like certain spells to rid them?
Yeah, they would end up just burning the. You'd see scorching rays, turning these zombies and skeletons to ash, and just any way to stop them from moving. But yeah, it basically seems that whatever any sort of spell that creates the undead doesn't work as it should.
But there's just a lot of testing that's going on to try to get it to work.
Yes, and this is not something that is a new thing. You get the impression whilst you're here at the Academy that this has been going on for many, many years. In fact, one of the founding principles of the Sanguine Academy is to raise an undead army for the court's use.
Interesting.
They can do it elsewhere. Just can't be done in the city. So, with that said, Vanya, I think for all intents and purposes, you've got a couple of days to spend, minimum a couple of days to spend at the Academy learning shit. And if you do have any more questions, you can DM me and I can answer them for the next session.
Perfect.
So, let's jump back across. So just so everyone's aware, Vanya is now up here in this part of the city, the Sanguine Academy, and the giant school of the Arcanists Guild. Having made her way from here, the docks at the Temple District. Dorian, Garrett, Cypher, pop back over to you boys. What are you up to?
Shall we let Dorian go first?
Yeah, let Dorian go first. And then
Well, Dorian's thing is basically at the end or coming to the end of the downtime. So if this happens before, it should probably be Cypher and
Okay. I mean, in terms of time frame, by the end of this session, that will be the 7 weeks over.
7 days.
7 weeks. Holy shit! 7 days long rest done. Yeah.
Damn. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So
So during this downtime is the best way to say.
all
I think.
right. Okay. So Dorian has business with his quote unquote family estate. So yeah.
Where do we start this off then? This in the folly, in the shadowed circle? Is this you on your own thing?
Honestly, probably best if it's just him alone.
All right. Set the scene, Dorian.
Well, Dorian has been sitting on the invite from, like, oh, I'll hear you out, the irate father over in the coin flow district. And he is essentially doing his due diligence here. Because... Yeah, I don't think he really needs anything material-wise that he doesn't have already. Okay, so he does not have his armor on. As much as I hate that, he does not have his armor on. He's going to put his weapon, his sensor and flail and all that in his bag of holding. He's not. So he's wearing his governor attire, and has a little meal by the hearth, and just looks at the door and thinks, well, there's no time like the present, and he's going to proceed out of the folly, waving to the few people who might be around, if they're,
there would be,
if the public there.
There would be. You at this point, Dorian, don't go unnoticed through lower streets. There would always be groups of people coming up to you, especially now the fact that at this point, word that you're the governor is no doubt starting to spread amongst the slum populace.
And he's going to take the sticky tape that he normally has wrapped around the hilt of his weapon, and he's going to wrap it around his wrist loosely so that it looks almost like a ribbon. And he's going to head to the coin flow district.
All right. Making your way through lower streets, Market Row, a similar scene to Vanya as you approach the gates to coin flow. The wardens are well aware of who you are. With a respectful nod, you are let through into coin flow itself, and you too would now start to notice signs of combat that's occurred here very recently.
Yes. Well, that's good. It can keep the merchant guard on their toes. And he plans on proceeding to his family estate, which he had visited like a week or so ago before this.
Okay. So, with the estate being on the northern-ish side of Coinflow, you would begin to see a lot more of the carnage, the destruction that had been wrought by the Doctore and their morphocytes running rampant through the city. As you turn onto the street where the Heswood estate lies, it seems, perhaps luckily for them, this street remains untouched, with it being closer to the Gardens of the Dead.
Lovely.
You begin to stride down the street and you see a very familiar figure stood near the gate to the manor. Now, with that said, I'm going to call a quick be right back because adverts start in 2 minutes.
All right.
So we will have
I'm gonna get some water.
Yeah, we will have a quick refresher and then, we'll see what's going to happen here at...
Nothing good.
See what happens at this family reunion, shall we? Folks, we will be but a minute.
Back.
Welcome back.
Sounds like if you would have went with me, you would have gotten harmed, Cypher.
Why? I'm fully in control of my faculties.
Those words wouldn't have went off on you?
I don't know.
Oh.
Only one way to find out.
Do it.
Give me an invite and I'll come with you.
Spoiler alert. They would have gone off. Oh, I'm Chris Kidd. Welcome in. Thank you for the raid. How are you? How was the stream? You've caught us literally just as the brakes have kicked in and we all went for a refreshment moment. Oh, well, yes. Welcome into to our dark fantasy world. I think we're just waiting for Dorian to return.
I am returned.
Oh, he's returned. All right. So, Dorian, you begin to make your way down the streets. Several manors flank left and right of other wealthy merchants, minor nobles perhaps, before eventually you reach the exterior, the gate that leads to the Heswood estate. And from behind the gate there, the familiar face
Yeah, I admittedly lost my notes with his name in it.
It's all right. So did I. So, for the moment, I mean, does his name really matter?
Not particularly, honestly.
The voice rings out.
Well, look who has returned.
Look who indeed. And he's going to take out the letter that was sent by Richard Hestwood.
Mm-hmm.
Basically just showing that it has his signature and holding it up. I'm here for an audience.
An audience, is it? Come crawling back. Oh, fancy that. Well, I can tell you now, Sunshine, there's no more money here for you, so probably just the old man's way of disowning you one last time and kicking you the fuck out, you waster.
Waster. Haven't you heard? Hero of lower streets these days. Governor, even.
Yeah, bollocks. That's what that is. It's bollocks.
And Dorian's going to, one, take the governor's pen and the Vulpescu pen that he has, and he's just going to kind of hold the jacket to his chest so it's very obvious that they're both there.
I don't know who you fucking stole that shit off, but come on. I've got to see this.
The man unlocks the gate, steps aside, and in a somewhat mocking manner offers a half bow as he waves a hand in a circle to welcome you in.
Okay. Gonna oversee our meeting then?
Absolutely. It's going to be entertaining, to say the least. About time you finally got what you fucking deserved.
Is that so? And what do you imagine that is?
Oh, disinheritance thrown out on the streets. And after all the whoring you've been doing and drink and spending, not a single coin you brought into this household, you're a fucking disgrace.
Okay. I'm gonna try this. I'm not really a big spellcaster.
Okay. I'm not really a big spellcaster, but wisdom saving throw.
Yep.
Oh.
You are going to remain right here until I call for you.
I am going to remain right here until you call for me.
Good. And with that, Dorian's going to start walking up towards the house.
That's right, you tosspot. I'll be here for when you come out.
With that, the guard turns his back, closes the gate, takes the key from his belt, locks it. And
So that's a concentration spell, so that's the one I'm maintaining.
okay. Yeah. So you stroll up towards the door to the estate and you knock. Do you step in?
He's just going to try to open the door and walk in.
Okay. Opens and you step inside to darkness, obviously. As you step in, you are greeted with the look of one or two of the house servants. One of them with a brush, just tending to a few cobwebs in the corner, and another one walking by with a tray of drink and snacks in a porcelain bowl.
Dorian is going to just basically walk in like he owns the place, and he's trying to proceed. You know, he might be a little bit foggy about it, but he's trying to basically proceed directly to his father's study where he would like receive guests or have meetings.
Doesn't take long. You stride through some of the servants who they know who you are, but none of them call out. You get the odd side glance from a few of them, but through your memories, this is how they've always treated you.
Oh, yeah.
Eventually, you make your way down the central corridor, and at the far end there's a left-hand turn which leads to a somewhat largely open study area. Here, as you step in, behind the desk is the older form of Richard Hestwood. And at this moment in time, he's currently scribbling in a merchant's ledger. And on a rather fancy red leather sofa just off to the side is the form of Sienna, your sister. Here she's lounging on the chair, bedecked in various pieces of jewellery. A bowl of snacks that's just been delivered to her in hand as she's crunching away. With your approach, she looks up, her eyebrows raise in surprise, and so does the Lord of the Manor.
Yeah, so Dorian's not breaking stride. He's just basically walking straight up. And he's going to walk up to the desk where his father's at, and he's going to pull whatever kind of chair there is. He's just going to take a seat and lean back and cross his legs. And the first thing he's going to do is he's going to extract this.
The tension in the room is so thick, you could cut it with a knife. Sienna, as she pops a fried piece of pork rind into her mouth and crunches it. Welcome home, brother.
Thank you, dear sister. And then he's going to turn his gaze back to the father, who's undoubtedly just staring daggers at him.
He has a deep-set scowl painted across his features as he slowly puts the quill down on the table, scooches his chair back a brief inch or two as it echoes around the room as the wooden chair legs just scrape on the floor.
So, here you are. Loud and boisterous as always, I see.
It pays. The sound carries better, draws more attention from all the little folk in lower streets, and even here.
Slower
Worked
streets.
with you, didn't it?
Been whoring yourself out there, I see.
Oh, yes, to all the good people. Have a public office now.
I'd heard rumours of some such that you're some public servant of the slums.
Yeah. So...
What silly
You
game
avenge
is it?
on your...
Take one.
Yeah, there.
Yeah.
I'm just activating the deck of devilry, and I got
Okay.
the one I was hoping for. You have advantage on your charisma persuasion and charisma deception checks against the creature for 10 minutes.
Damn it. So what's this look like then as you pull the deck out? What is this? This is the first time we've really used it. What do you do? What is it?
He takes a deck of cards from his jacket, and he begins shuffling the cards. And as he's shuffling, there's a little bit of they are magic. There's not any big showy thing, but he draws a card, and the deck begins whispering to him. And it whispers. So I'll read it off because I don't think it's been long.
Yeah.
This deck looks like an ordinary deck of cards. The back of the cards looks like that of any other deck. However, the front of them is marked with strange depictions of vice. There is also a small passage written on each of them, telling the story of the depiction. Rumor has it there was a rogue so deceiving that he cheated every single person in a small city in his travels. He met a crossroads devil. The devil promised to make one of his wishes come true, and he accepted. Although the devil was supposed to have something in return, he somehow managed to cheat the devil, whether as a result of his wish or because he was someone who managed to cheat a devil. He became a possession of this deck of devilry. If you're not attuned to the deck, a card you pick insults you in various ways. While attuned to it, however, a card you draw from it tells you a secret. Once each day, you can use your action to focus on a creature that you can see within 30 feet of you and pick a card. Once you use the deck, you regain the chances of doing it after a short rest. The card shows a weakness of the creature you focus on. To determine the nature of the weakness, roll on the table below. In this case, their social habits.
Yep.
Which is advantage on charisma, persuasion, and charisma deception checks against them for 10 minutes.
It's a good pick. It's a good pick.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of hoping to see how many hit points he had.
Roll me a perception check, please, Dorian.
Boy, yeah. Boop-a-doop-a-doo.
So, the fact that he is an aging man at this point, frail, perhaps having consumed far too much alcohol over the years, his constitution isn't exactly the best. You get the feeling with just your fists alone, you could end it in a single strike.
Got a better idea.
And I mean, the same would probably go for your sister. She is someone who has lived in opulence and.
Oh, don't worry.
That is good.
I have ideas. Yeah.
So what con have you brought then to become the governor of the fucking slums?
Oh, you know, the typical. Sold my soul to a devil somewhere along the way. Yeah. Although, one that sucks blood. Of course, you've made the same trade yourself some time ago, haven't you?
Well, at least...
He's going to stand up and approach the desk and put his hands on it.
At least with the Moretti's support, it brought prosperity, fortune, that you...
And he juts a shaking, withered finger in your direction.
Which you did naught but fucking squander away. Pissed it down the wall on drugs, women.
So it is. And Dorian's gonna... Looking over the desk, he has an ink and quill, correct?
Absolutely.
So Dorian's going to reach over and just pluck his quill and look at it and... What you so kindly bankrolled for years and years and then, poof, cut off. Okay. Why? And he's going to lower his hand with the quill. Still talking to him, just trying to maintain eye contact and talk to him.
Why, what? That I bankrolled you for all this time and then cut you off? Is that what you wish to know?
Yes, why?
It's simple now, isn't it? Because, well, for a while your whoring out was useful. Remember the first couple? The ones I chose for you?
No, they've faded into obscurity due to the multitudes, the numbers. They are legion at this point, aren't they?
And that is why you were cut off. I had set out the perfect fucking plan. All you had to do was follow it to the letter. And we would have been in High Seat District by now, or the Magister. Yes, I would have had it all, but no, you let your own foolish gluttony, your own lust take over.
Well then, it's as the god said. You want nothing to do with me, eh?
Exactly, which is part just to see if you had some foolish reason as to, why you become this governor of the fucking slums. See if you've come to your senses, perhaps, paid back what you owe to the family. But if not, then that's fine. You can step out of those doors, never to be seen again, disowned.
I feel as though after this stay, you will never see me again. Well,
Good.
I need only have it in you. Make it official. And he's going to take a piece of parchment, and he's going to take a quill, and he's going to hand it, put it in the ink pot, and put the paper in front of him. Very well. Write me out of everything, disown me. I have no rights to anything, effective immediately.
Fine. That's all I could have asked for.
And oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
I've been waiting for this.
What is that, Dorian?
The Quill of Rebellion. When held, this quill makes you write the exact opposite of what you want to. The pen detects your intentions and cannot be tricked into writing what you wanted to write.
So, whilst casting glances to you, he takes the quill pen and just begins to scribble down.
And so while he's writing, Dorian's going to say, all these years of disdain, quiet disapproval, and he's just going to be feeding into this entire time to basically keep his mind on him and how much he hates him.
I mean, I'm going to
So he
ask for
gets
a
it.
deception check.
Yep. Yep. Ba-ba-ba. Deception, but with advantage.
All right. He pretty much almost maintains eye contact with you throughout the entire writing. You would see that there is some sick satisfaction that creeps up at the corner of his lips as he begins to write out, I Richard S. would hereby revoke all access, all fortunes, all names. You are hereby disowned, removed, never step foot. And he just goes off, scribbling it down. Obviously, the Quill of Rebellion flips this into the opposite. The words actually written down are, I, Richard Heswood, hereby grant Charlton Heswood full access to all my finances, carry on family name solely, or land, or contracts. And now to you, Dorian.
So, it's basically just he expounds on it. And so Dorian just keeps on feeding into the hatred. And, well, now that we've made it official, he's going to reach over and take the quill and the paper and look at it and just basically glimpse over it. I don't need specifics, but he's just going to look at it.
Oh,
He's going to
brother.
fold it.
I wish I could say it's been fun, but honestly, you've really been nothing but a pain in the backside for the family for the last God knows how long now. So, good luck with the rest of your life in the shithole outside of the walls. Try not to, pick up any floozies. Sorry, any more floozies who catch your eye. And, please, it would break my heart if you drank yourself to death in the gutter somewhere.
Oh, I imagine that it would absolutely ruin you. And, he's going to take the folded parchment and the Quill of Rebellion and put it in his pocket. He's going to take the original quill and drop it back in front of his father. Well, dear sister, come and see me off. He's going to walk over by his father and just have his arms wide open towards her.
She... Roll me persuasion.
Normal.
Let's do a roll off on this one.
Not a great roll.
Okay. So, Sienna, charisma. She just rolls her eyes from lounging on the sofa and gives a dismissive wave. Honestly, no. I don't know what I'd catch, dear brother.
Well, that still works. And he's going to walk towards the sofa and grab one of her hands and basically just cover her mouth with the other and drag her forcibly towards their father.
Have you lost your minds? You.
One moment. So now she's going to be holding a knife, or he's going to be holding a knife. He's going to put it in her hand.
Yeah.
And he's going to stab the ever-loving shit out of the old man.
What, using Sienna's hand with the knife?
Yes. Yes.
There's just this high-pitched squeal from Sienna as, with you holding her hand, she just begins to stab the old form.
And at this moment, Dorian's going to yell for the guard as loud as he possibly can. Guards!
You hear the sound of porcelain shatter as a servant who's just poked their head round the door sees what's happening.
And Dorian, as soon as it looks like this guy is dead, and he's hoping he is.
He's
going to release.
What are you doing?
Release her with the dagger in her hand. And he's going to take a step back.
That will be when the servant sees this and sees Sienna stood there with a dagger in hand, blood just pouring out of Richard's mouth, a multitude of stab wounds across his chest as he's just there gasping weakly for a brief moment. The servant screams. Moments later you hear the front door bang burst open.
And so Dorian is standing there within arm's reach of her with his hands up as if to protect himself and shield himself. And she's got this dagger right there.
Sienna's hand shakes, and just as the guard steps in, she, wide-eyed, looks around, drops the dagger. Jordan, oh, what have you done? Father! And she immediately goes towards Richard and then points a shaky finger towards you. He made me... He killed...
And he's going to reach into his pocket and take the paper out and unfurl it. Mm-hmm. She couldn't take the deed, went back and changed his mind.
At this, the guard... Wait, what? He draws a sword, looking at Sienna and you.
What is going on? It just... No, this...
Oh, this would be a difficult one. I mean, it wouldn't. He would see Sienna crying. He knows her. Roll me a deception check.
Mm-hmm. And I imagine that some of the other servants must be coming in at this point.
Would be, yeah. They would be. There aren't too many servants in the grounds. The two you saw initially, maybe two more, so 4 in total. Oh, fucking deception. Oh, that's a good one.
Sienna, did you... No, you... Why? What have you done, you stupid girl? No, it must
And
be you.
he's gonna make sure that the paper's up there, and so that he can see what it says, basically.
The guard begins to look over the parchment and shakes his head. This is no. Why you? Why you? Of all fucking scumbags. No, this ain't right. This
I'll
ain't
bring the
right.
merchant guard, and he's gonna take the paper, and he's gonna go outside yelling guards. Guards, there's been a murder.
Storming shortly behind you, Dorian, as you step out onto the street shouting guards. In a perhaps fit of rage, of disbelief, you begin to see a snarling, rage-filled house guard now step out of the manor, sword drawn, staring at you intently as he begins to quite aggressively make his way towards you.
Mm-hmm.
So this is outside. Oops. Wrong one. Yeah. This. No, something ain't right. This ain't right. You should be disowned, you scum. No, Sienna would never do that. Not to the old man, no, but you and your fucking games. You'll be dead before the guards get here. He will lunge out.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that would be for the best.
He will lunge out towards you. Does a 21 hit?
Yeah. And the thing is, he's not trying to avoid it. He's getting hit in full view of the merchant guards.
Yeah, at this
with
point.
their hands up.
The longsword swings out, crosses across your upper chest, cutting through the governor's outfit you're wearing for 6 points of slashing damage.
Mm-hmm.
It's
also,
at that point,
I've dropped the concentration.
Yeah.
It popped up, but it's already been fulfilled, so that's
absolutely.
So, yeah.
At that, you hear a call from down the street. What in the actual fuck is going? Put down your sword!
Perfidy! They're trying to kill me.
The merchant guard tend to operate in 4 to 6 man groups. So at this, you would just see the brass and yellow clothed merchant guard just draw steel and start charging forward, shields at the ready, and they're about 30, 40 feet out. So our good friend is gonna, you're just hearing the,
Mm-hmm.
You'll fucking pay for this.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
second swing 14.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He cuts in again. This time, much closer and piercing, he punctures the sword straight into your shoulder and through the other side. It's at that moment where the merchant guard turn up and 2 of them shield slam into him, knocking the guard back. Swords drawn, they immediately put them to the man's throat. Stand down, or we will slit your throat. 2 of the other guards move in around you, Dorian, shields up to protect you, and the remaining 2 begin to make their way into the house.
Looking at them, is it obvious that one of them is like the captain of their squad or like in the charge of their squad, like high rank?
Yeah, most of the merchant guard would have the same uniform, but the officers tend to have like brass accents on their helmets with a couple of plumes sticking out of the top. So, in fact,
All right.
I will.
He's going to look at the one that has the fancier garb.
Yeah. So there you go. That's the difference between your typical merchant guard and then the officer.
Yep. So still one hand in the air because he doesn't want to make it look like he's drawing a weapon. He's going to take the paper out and just hold it up. They're trying to kill me. He had a change of heart at the last moment, and they couldn't take it. And yeah, he's got the paper up. If you need to talk to Director Farida, she can vouch for me.
The merchant guard officer immediately stiffens up at the name. You are on familiar terms with Director Farida. May I get your name, sir?
Charlton Astwood. She may know me as Dorian.
Very well.
Street name.
The officer will turn to the others. Get that man in manacles. Is there anyone else inside we need to be aware of?
My sister, who wielded the weapon, it's still there. It was just there all of a sudden. I don't know where it came from.
The officer barks a few orders to the two merchant guard who are just holding position near the door to the manor. He begins to stroll down the pathway towards them, and at that, the three of them make their way inside. You're still protected by one member of the guard, and the other two at this point have now slapped a pair of manacles on the throffing guard, who at this point's just shouting into the night. Just, it was him. It's fucking twisting things. It's fucking... Are people aware when that spell drops that they were suggested to?
They probably have some notion that something is off. Let me see the actual...
I'm just reading it.
They are effectively charmed. It doesn't say anything about it. But
I think you're thinking of Friends.
I am, yeah. So, no, he's not aware that he was under suggestion then. Because normally it states that the target is aware of that it's been charmed. In this one, it doesn't say that. So, yeah, he just starts spitting out. He must have done something to... the Lord... The master wouldn't give that waste, useless filth, anything. It's supposed to be disavowed.
While he's saying this, he's very much like, he's got his arm over the sword wound, but he's pulling his jacket so that it exposes like all the, like both of the things that are on his chest, like that denote that it's the exact opposite of what he's saying.
The two merchant guards who have at this point have again manacled him, slammed him against the wall, not pleasantly. The guards received a swift boot to the stomach as he's knocked down, and then followed briefly after by a shield strike across the face. And at that moment you just hear him spit blood out as a tooth drops to the cobbles below. Inside you hear raised voices from the merchant officer and the two guards with him, as the servants are corralled out of the room, and shortly after you see Sienna, also in manacles, being dragged out by the manacles behind her back. So she's sitting down on the floor, getting dragged across the floor outside.
And Dorian's just going to say, "How could you?"
At this point, Sienna can't seem to string two words together. Just going to get the portrait. She's sobbing, eyes red, as she looks up towards you with just this hate-filled expression. Absolute she despises you with every fiber of her being.
Good.
As the merchant guard officer steps out, dagger in hand. This is the weapon, aye?
Could have been. It looked like any other dagger.
Right.
Never not seen it before the moment that it was in her hand. Which is, kind of true.
Liar! Fucking murderer! You killed
Some of the
it!
servants witnessed her with a dagger in hand. So did he, and he came after me. They're in it together. They're in league.
From cracked jaw, broken tooth, spitting blood, you just hear a gargled, "You bastard." Right, well, in that case, we'll drag these two back to our guardhouse for a moment, and then we'll hand them over to the wardens. Because this is, well, I dare say a little out of our league. Consider yourselves lucky it was us that got you. The guard captain turns towards the blooded man on the ground. If the wardens had have turned up, well, Sunshine, you'd have been breathing through a hole in your fucking head.
Mm-hmm. And so Dorian's going to go too, or basically just stand there holding his wounds, and let them walk away, or start off.
They would. The merchant guard captain, along with the vast majority of the guards, would depart. They would leave two at the manor, though, just until someone else came to investigate. You get the impression that this would no doubt be passed to the Merchant Guild, who would then pass it up towards the wardens, who would no doubt send someone to investigate and just clear up what exactly happened. With it being coin flow, if it had been anywhere else out of the city, it wouldn't have been an issue. But with this being coin flow, there tends to be a little bit more of an interest in things that go on.
Mm-hmm.
But with the evidence in hand that you are the sole heir to the Hestwood Fortunes estate and business, not much more is going to be done, I don't think.
Well, you say that. However,
there may be a few people in cages soon.
Yeah, there might be some people in cages soon. And now it should be apparent why I didn't want to do this right after Reza did her stuff last week. But yeah, so Dorian's going to let them go, and he's going to head back towards Lower Streets. He's got the paper and
got the key to the estates. Lock the door. What do you do with the servants who remain?
And he's going to just look at them. He's like, be sure to tell the investigators who come by what you saw. And he's looking at ones that he recognized to let them know that he knows that they saw. And basically just looking to see if there's any kind of sense that they're going to just try to play it down like they saw nothing.
Give me a roll. Your choice. Is this a nice, friendly, keep your mouth shut, or is this a keep your mouth shut?
No, it's actually the inverse. It's you are going to tell them everything that you saw, because everything is just lined up perfectly that he's feeling like everything that's here is like everything went about as well as it could have. So he's trying to make sure that they don't
Okay.
try to hold anything back when investigators come through.
Roll me persuasion quick, just as
Persuasion.
to see how loyal. Sorry, my drink went down the wrong hole, and with it being sparkling water, that was a bit rough.
That's not fun. So it's much more in keeping with this. I think what it's going to be is, well, seeing as how this house is mine now, if you wish to maintain your very cushy employment not beyond the streets, I advise you to tell the investigators that come by everything you saw to the letter.
Of course, and we will still keep our jobs here, yes, Master Hestwood?
Perhaps even paid better once we've reviewed everything, but only if you are honest with anyone who comes by asking.
We understand. We'll make sure that we. It was Sienna with the blade.
If that's what you saw, yes. Can I use intimidation?
Yeah, go for it, yeah, man. That last rasp from she's like, thank you for we look forward to serving the new master of the house. Are they not going to take the body away?
I hadn't thought of that. I imagine the investigators want to see the scene.
We'll leave it there until the investigators come, then.
Yes, best
Master.
that you do.
The four servants bow their head. A slight tinge of fear running down their spines.
Yes. And so, well, be about it. And Dorian is going to kind of play up the injuries. And he's going to walk back towards the guardhouse. Like the bridge.
Yeah.
And he's looking for 7432.
All right. Who is?
He is one of the wardens.
Yep.
And he's going. He's at that particular gatehouse going into coin flow.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least he should be. He might not be on duty, but he's looking for 7432.
He would be on duty. It's unless there is a reason for them to rotate. The coin flow gate's a pretty cushy one, so they try and stay there as long as possible, unless they flirt with an old lady and get noticed by the rest of the wardens and probably reported for it.
Gertrude Buckets.
Antonio is probably in a bucket right now somewhere in the city, but as you on the coin flow side, some of the wardens would see you approach and begin to make their way forward.
Yeah. So he's holding his chest. He's playing it up like he's been grievously wounded. And, it's a decent cut.
It is, yeah. Yeah. One of the wardens immediately looks over you. Are you all right there? Wait, you're the governor.
Yes. My sisters just tried to kill me. The merchant guard have taken her accomplice and her into custody, shielding them. I don't know how long they'll be there, but they've... And he holds his hand up, basically just like showing the blood off and everything. But they've tried to end me because my father changed his mind and saw the virtue of what I'm doing in lower streets.
At that, one of the wardens shouts out, to the guards on the other side of the gate.
Echolis! Governor's here wounded.
At that, 7432 approaches. He looks over you.
Oh, shit. Governor.
Yes.
Come with me. We'll get that tended to at the guardhouse and tell us all about it.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. It's terrible. Murder. Attempted murder. Merchant. Did you know that the merchant guard protect those who try to murder people in the streets?
Oh my god. At this, you're brought before the warden captain as out of a cabinet behind 7432 takes a potion and hands it to you.
Drink that.
No, he's going to look at it. See if he can. Does it look like a healing potion?
It does, yes. Not exactly like you're used to from Sal, but
Right.
it's a lot more viscous, a little thicker, a little darker red, but
Yeah. He does it look like it's coming off of his belt, like it's something that they keep on hand for themselves?
it's from a cabinet in the back room, so they don't tend to carry potions on them themselves. But there is an aid. You would see it basically as an aid cupboard. As he opens it, there's bandages, a few healing poultices, creams, and various other splints that are aid.
But he's going to drink it.
Okay. Let me put in. Dorian. Inventory. When I find the thing I'm looking for. There you go. Drink that. You notice there is only one of them in the cupboard as he takes it out and hands it to you.
Ha.
For emergency use, and I would dare say that the governor of Lower Streets is certainly in an emergency.
All right. So he's going to put it to his lips.
Mm-hmm.
And then just...
Don't be shy, get it down you.
God damn it.
Oh, it's really nice.
Well, now he has ragged, bloody clothes, and there's no trace of the wounds to play up. Oh, so he's gonna ease off the I'm at death's door. You know, he's gonna just.
At that though, the warden captain, turns towards you. So you said that the guard are housing the two miscreants who did this to you, Governor.
Indeed, and he's going to take the paper out.
Hmm.
This guy probably doesn't give a fuck.
No.
But he's going to lay it out. I told my father what was going on in Lower Streets and how I'd made something of myself, and he changed his mind, and my sister couldn't take the jealousy and murdered him and tried to kill me, and when she couldn't finish the job, she sent her guard after me. The merchant guard saw it, instead him trying to run me through, and they took him into custody rather than cut him down in the street like the dog he is.
The wardens gathered look towards the captain. And whilst not removing their helmets, for the being that you are, Dorian, you would certainly be able to feel from all of the gathered wardens here a sense of boiling.
Yeah. And so
rage.
He's going to interject They said something about holding them for the wardens who come to pick them up, but they weren't going to do anything about it in the meantime.
7432.
All of the servants there.
957, and in fact, you two will be enough. Bring our little fugitives here for processing.
Yes,
believe I
can't
have
bear to
them-
see them.
I believe I have 2 spots just above the gate that they would fit nicely.
Thank you, Captain. And he's going to just kind of ease away from the holding to the wound because there's nothing left, and just kind of sit there and let the wardens do their work.
Okay. Session Zero Gaming, thank you for the raid. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. I appreciate it. So yeah, with that, the wardens begin, or at least 2 of the wardens, Dorian, set off back into Coinflow District, marching towards the patrol houses of the Merchant Guard to acquire their new fugitives. Hey, Session Zero, thank you again. I appreciate it. Welcome in. Welcome in. Dorian, having been healed by the aid station potion, what are your plans?
He's going to thank the captain. Thank you so much. I don't know if I can bear to be here when what has to be done is done. Such spiteful lies and violence from them.
Don't worry, Governor. At the end of the day, if they are in an attempt to harm a member of the court, then their only fate is to hang from the gates as treacherous scum that they are.
Yes, well. As odd as it is, do be sure that they don't have to suffer too long.
The warden tilts his head to the side slightly in confusion before just offering a brief curt nod.
Well, she is my sister after all. And he's going to bow his head very deeply towards him and start to trudge out.
If that is your wish, Governor, then it shall be done.
Thank you. And he's going to walk very slowly back into the lower streets. Just
slink away.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. So before we this has been going on, Vanya is away at the Sanguine Academy. I think this Cypher, Garrett, Dorian, do you want to be present for the next bit, Dorian, or
I think we can give this over to Garrett and Cypher because I've had a big chunk there.
So, meanwhile, whilst Vanya's been out at the Sanguine Academy, like a child in a candy shop, Dorian has just basically murdered his father, framed his sister, and now has the whole merchant estate in his grasp. Garrett, Cypher, what are you two up to?
Where's Garrett at the moment?
Where I always am.
All right. Well, the Cypher will come storming out from his sanctum. He'll just be like, "Well, I've got to get away from that."
You just you just hear the call out from down below.
But we are not done yet. There are a few things that I need to move.
Yes, I'm sure you're quite capable, Coroner. Make yourself at home. You've already done such a wonderful job already.
Well,
So-
if you want to get out and about, I'm going for a walk. If you'd like to join me.
I would, yes. I'd love to, yes. As far away from here as possible.
Good. I need someone with your particular skills in speaking.
Oh? Oh, do you?
Mm-hmm. I might need the truth embellishing somewhat.
Well, I am capable at embellishing a truth here and there.
Okay, let's go for a little walk down to the lumber mills.
Cypher raises an eyebrow, cocks his head. Lumber mills?
Yes, we're going to buy them.
Are we? Interesting. To what end?
Well, Dirktown is now scrubbed clean. And there's going to be a military dock built, ships being built,
Ah,
all kinds of buildings being built. What do they all require?
I see where you're going with this. Yes. Hmm.
Mm-hmm. And we'll go there, offer them some money. If they refuse, maybe imply that the court will take the lands for nothing.
I mean, they probably will if they just want it or need it. I mean, Van Rysen will probably just claim it and be like, yep. So it's not a complete lie. Yeah.
But we'll pay them, and then see how many other foresters we can employ. And I feel that
Oh.
having a stockpile of wood might prove useful.
Interesting. Oh well, lead on. I do so like the woods this time of year.
And then we can also mark off a section of the woods not to be touched.
Oh, a section close to a large tree.
Correct. I wouldn't want any accidents to happen.
Smart. All sorts of evil, nasty things hiding in that part of the woods.
So, with that said, you begin to make your way out of the Baron's Folly. Head south through Piker District. Here, it's been a while now since you took over Piker, and the vast majority of the reconstruction work has been done. People seem a lot cheerier, healthier, perhaps creepily so for some individuals, to the point where there's some rather familiar but unpleasant to look at wide grins from some of the Piker population. The sisters doing their due diligence in converting the populace to the Happy Healers cause. But with that behind you, you take a hop, skip and a jump back through Malmstown towards some of the old lumber camps that you've previously used the services of.
Mm-hmm.
On the outskirts of Malmstown, near one of the lumber mills, you approach through the mud-slicked streets, eventually reaching several houses that, on the edge of the town, open out towards the Stillborn Forest. And these houses themselves have all been converted almost into one large work area. The ground floors have been emptied out with a makeshift circular saw that's hand cranked by individuals for carving trees apart to make planks. On the grounds at the back, there lies easily 20, 30 large logs hewn from the forest itself and waiting to be processed.
I wonder who's in charge. We probably stick out like a sore thumb, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. You would see...
And we just-
Sorry, go on, Garrett.
Just strolling around, arms clasped behind my back, just looking over everything, making myself as obvious as possible. Making a little as I'm walking around.
Can I help you lot at all? You see a woman who leans from the balcony on the second floor of the building, looks down towards you. Wearing very little, it seems to be a vest with a leather plate on the front, but there's a multitude of cuts across her as she looks down. Quite a stern expression on her face. And lean, but muscular. You two
You're
lost?
looking... Yes, well, not so much lost, but looking for a person.
Right. Well, it's a fucking lumber mill, love, not a dating place, so... Wrong place, I would guess.
Unless you're looking for the person in charge of the lumber mill.
All right. You got a silver tongue on you, I can see. I'll be there in a minute. The woman steps back into the lumber mill and begins to make her way down. Eventually, stepping out the front door onto the streets of Malmstown. You would see a heavy lumber axe slung on a sheath over her back. She extends a hand towards you. Name's Amari.
Garrett Blackthorn, of the Baron's Folly,
Oh, I know
Agent.
you.
of House Volpescu.
Oh, I didn't know that bit, though. Hey, didn't that name... You had some business with us before, the old man, huh?
Indeed.
Ah. Well, sorry to tell you, if you were looking for the man, he's... And she just draws a thumb across the throat. Kick the bucket. Or should I say, tree following him, so not exactly a bucket. No bucket involved, just a tree. Silly old coot. Chopped it the wrong way, you did. Should have seen it. Right, miss.
Lives go to deaths, to rebirth. 'Tis the way of the world.
Yeah, you're right. And I was sad for a bit, but hey, I got the mill, making money. So, the House of Volpescu, what's a court man doing down? It's rare for you lot to be outside this side of the wall. Never mind in near the forest. Are we in
Well,
trouble?
No, not at all. As you know, I come from the Folly, and we are investing in parts of the city. You've probably heard of what's gone on in Piker, Poulter, and Lower Streets. I dare say a lot of your wood has gone to the building.
Oh, yeah, we had some... I mean, I'm not sure about Folly, but Spyglass. Do you know Spyglass?
Yes.
We know Spyglass.
Well, you own Spyglass.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit, that makes things much easier then. Yeah, I know. Yeah, we've certainly sold a bit of wood to the old, what's his name, Rurik. Angry little bastard, that one. But well, I drank him under the table. That was funny.
Oh, I bet he hated that.
He did. I've not seen him since. He's sending this other weedy man now to do most of the old, bartering, coin exchange. Won't even look me in the eye.
What was his name? Caleb.
Caleb, Kalen, Kalish, something of its ilk like that. Yeah.
Seems
Well,
like...
All numbers.
at least we know
strange.
he can count.
She crosses her arms over her chest and then looks over you both. Well, I guess out here in the shitty streets ain't the best place for if you're here to talk business anyway. So mind the sawdust, but come on in. We'll have a chat. So Imari just turns her back to you and strolls in to the lumber mill. It seems since maybe the last time, I don't think you were here as such, but the message from Falco is this was originally quite a small operation. Now it seems to be a little larger. There's easily 15 or 20 individuals who are, some are hand sawing some of the wood, others cranking this giant saw blade in the center of the room, along with a multitude of laborers as well. So they've come on quite a way since Falco last used their services. So business looks like it's been good.
So, I won't waste your time. I'll come out of what I intend. I'd like to buy this operation.
It's going to cost a lot. We're a busy business. I'll let you know.
I understand. And with my help, we'll be busier, more profitable, and a lot richer.
Roll me a persuasion check, Garrett. Hey, Kelly. Also, while you're doing that, Session Zero Game, thank you for the follow, by the way. I appreciate it. Welcome to the madness that this is. Oh.
Hang on, my button's disappeared.
Yeah. I hate reliable talent. 1d20 minus 10. Like, I can't roll below 10.
I'll add another 7 on top of it.
So 23?
Yeah.
No. 21.
No, 21.
As she looks, I mean, what does this look like? This cyborg? How do you make it a little bit more persuasive, Garrett? What does this encompass?
My blue eyes sort of flash the most enticing ice blue. And my fey features become, for just a second, irresistible.
Okay.
And the air in the room just becomes comfortable and like a big blanket's been put around everyone for a second. Well, my psionic magic just goes to work on her mind, just boosting my persuasion that little bit more.
It's almost like she can see the coins rolling in front of her eyes.
Yep.
Amari scratches her chin, dusts off her apron that's covered in wood shavings, and all right. Well, let's say I'm on board with this little venture. You want to buy it? What we're talking, huh? You give me a price, and because I may not be selling, but if the price is right, well, who knows? Especially if you're saying things are going to be a little more profitable.
Now, I wish to buy the business, but I also want to employ someone to run the business for me.
She nods, leaning forward.
I also wish to improve the manufacturing of this place. Better saws, maybe build some warehouses to store the wood.
Shit, how much wood do you want?
Employ some... Oh, we'll be needing a lot of wood. This will be the most profitable wood venture in existence.
In the history of the city ever.
And money. Well, I go into my bag of holding and pull out a gold coin. And I go in my bag of holding and I pull out another gold coin.
Okay.
And put it on my desk in front of me. So, what I'm looking for, and I pull out another gold coin and put it on the table.
Uh-huh.
I'd like to establish the Blackthorn logging mill. And I pull out another gold coin and put it in front of me.
Her eyes at this point are wide, perhaps even a slight bit of drool just coming down the side of her lip.
So, you tell me when I've put enough money on this table and another coin goes down to make this thing a reality, and then my foreman, which I dare say you'd do a fantastic job at, will have a very comfortable wage. And I put out a fifth coin and put it on the table.
With 5 gold coins on the table, Amari stands up, spits on her hand, and just stretches it over towards you, Garrett.
I copy the gesture and shake her hand.
Sci-fi and Silver will be like, well, I guess you didn't need me after all.
So she then hesitantly takes her hand over towards the coin, looks at you, Garrett. So 5, that's gold. That's actual gold coins. Yeah?
Oh, yes.
Oh, shit. She takes one, looks at it, does the stereotypical thing where she bites it, not having a clue why, but, well, I've never seen her. And again, you know the spyglass, and, well, you you don't really get people with your clothes and the house member? Come in, oh, shit. She turns around. Everyone, we're under new ownership. There's immediately this chorus of people just going, what? Amari, what are you talking about? We are now the Blackthorn Logging Mill Company. Mill? Company Mill? Mill Company.
Company. Let's go Blackthorn Logging Company.
Blackthorn Logging Company. And you're all getting a pay rise. She turns to you. They're usually paid about 10 copper a day, depending on how much wood's brought in.
Right, you're going to need change for that. And so he'll rummage in his bag and just pull out a sack of silver. And he'll be like, copper, right. I've only got silver.
Double it. I want good work. Honest work.
30 copper for a haul? Oh, you're the boss. If you're gonna, I was gonna say if you can afford it, but if you're, and she's already just greedily eyeing this giant sack of silver coins you've got, Cypher.
You're going to have to at least double, if not triple, your workforce.
Yes. And the foresters, what do you pay them per tree?
Per tree, again, it tends to be. If it's from the forest dwellers themselves, I'll throw them 5 copper. It takes them a while to hack it down with their blunt tools, but 5 copper to them is enough. For some of the workers here, 8, 10 if it's one of the bigger ones. But
For the time being, a silver a tree.
At this point, the rest of the workers have gathered round, and hearing a silver a tree, you just see a wall of dropped jaws.
I will have some axes sent. New saw blades. And I'll put a message out in the slums that people need work to come and see you.
I'm going to get really busy, aren't I?
You are going to be very busy.
I'm going to get really busy, aren't I?
And I go in my bag of holding and I pull out a small bag of coin and give it to her. That's your operating budget.
She just looks bewildered like a deer in the headlights as you thrust this bag of coin into her hands. 5 gold coins on her person, and it's just... Her mouth moves like that of a fish out of water, but no words come out.
Wait. You know how to read and write and count, yes?
She snaps to her senses for a moment. Yes, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now. I was taught reading, writing.
Oh, good. I thought your brain just dribbled out your mouth there for a moment.
You know Gwen in Market Row? Gwen.
Oh,
Sorry.
the really angry orc lady who no one's seen for a while because she's shut up shop.
Yeah, she was doing some work for me.
Oh, of course
Anything
she was.
you need,
Of course she was.
go to her.
Hmm.
I'll have an account there. And I will pay. What
An account. Oh, we got an account. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, that's... Yeah. Oh. Oh. She takes a moment, deep breath, steadies herself, turns to the rest of the lumber workers and seems to regain that rough tone she had when you first approached. All right, so you heard the boss, everyone. It's over a tree. Wages are going up. We're going to get more people, so better get to work. Prove your worth. If you she reaches into the bag, pulls out a silver coin, and just holds it up so that everyone can see. There's a couple of people at the back like, is this some sort of joke? Amari shakes her head. No, you know Rurik, Rockfist, Spyglass? There's a nod, a ripple of nods from the crowd. She thumbs over her shoulder towards you, Garrett. His boss. And then there's a right. Not a joke. Trees. Lots of trees. Lots of wood. Everyone stares at each other for a moment, dumbfounded, before eventually Amari just... Chop, chop. Literally, chop, chop.
I have one stipulation. There is a area of the forest with an enormous tree as deep as you can get. There are dangerous creatures around that area. I'm sure you know of it.
Oh, we don't go that deep in. We just stick to the outskirts and knock back. If anyone wants to go for the deep trees, it'll be the forest dwellers who bring me the odd tree. But even then, they know the forest better than we. So
Just let it be known that area is not to be disturbed. Anything else is fine, but that area is to be left as is.
Okay, so some near a big tree, stay away. That's the general consensus. Yes.
Anyone that knows the area will know of that dangerous part of the forest, and to follow common sense and leave it be.
Amari nods. Understanding. As do the rest of the people gathered.
Yes. So, first job you shall need to do is construct a large storage area and fill it as quickly as possible.
She starts looking and calling over a few of the workers, and you overhear a brief conversation that some of the workers seem to own farms, or at least farmland. Maybe it's obvious by now that the farming side isn't as profitable as them working in the lumber mill, but very quickly Amari seems to secure some of the local barren fields nearby to be used as storage areas. So without a warehouse straight off the bat, because again, building a warehouse would take time. There aren't any warehouses of that size in Malmstown or on the outskirts, so but she nods, but absolutely secures more than enough space for the meantime in the local fields.
Any problems going forwards, get a message to the Folly or the Spyglass. Get a message to a man named Falco.
Falco, okay. Okay.
And the information will get to me and we will sort it.
Well, in that case, I look forward to I say doing business, but I look forward to working for you, Garrett Blackthorn of the Blackthorn Logging Company.
Just Garrett is fine.
Whatever you say, boss. She grins. She's missing a few teeth. You get the impression that, you know, it's probably as she's pulled an axe out of a tree at some point, it may have smashed her in the the face. You know, she's a pretty rough individual, but certainly seems to know the trade.
Well, I won't detain you any further. Be careful with what I've given you, and you know how to contact us should you need to.
Aye, that I do. Do you want just logs or planks or mixed?
A mix to start with. When I know what I will be requiring, I will send you more detailed shopping lists, as it were.
Okay, so we're just hoarding for now. Is that right, boss? Yeah? Just hoarding.
Absolutely.
Okay. What about the handsome one-eyed chap over there? What's he? Who are you?
Cypher. I'm his son.
Really? Oh, you look nothing alike, but if you ever want to come round, to
Oh, I'll be keeping my eye on you.
she grins, nods. Nice. All right. Well, in that case, better get to work. Cypher, roll me a perception check.
Okay.
As she turns away to start making her way back to the group, you hear something about her would probably break you. Or something about breaking
blow
you.
up has been successful.
Well,
Cypher will remember this.
but yeah, with that, Imari gets back to the rest of the loggers, who seem to just have this fire lit underneath them. The guys who returned to the giant circular saw, previously they were just turning it just to slowly cut through the log. They now seem like they are possessed, as they're just turning this giant hand crank at a ridiculous pace. Some of the other loggers have sprinted out to the back holding area, 2 hatchets in each hand as they just start going to town on carving some of the logs up.
Nice.
If anyone saw this scene, it'd be more like the barbarian clans in the north going to war than a woodcutter's camp. But with that, they get to work.
Come along, Cypher. Let's go and see what our house guest has done to the folly.
If we must.
Obviously, the news of Dirktown hasn't reached here yet.
Oh, more's the pity.
It would have cost twice as much if they had.
I think if he pulled out any more gold, she was going to pass out.
A small investment to what we're going to make supplying the war machine and the building.
I mean, they get exactly what we offered them, right?
Mm-hmm. And they will earn far more than they've ever dreamed of.
Can I just direct everyone to chat who's graced us with her presence?
Who? Who the fuck is this? Nikki does next. What kind of stupid fucking name is that? Huh? Nikki? Where the
Hello,
fuck you
Nikki.
been?
How are you, sweetheart? How are you? 5 years. 5 years. Thank you for that 60-month resub. I appreciate it. How are you and Fearless? It has been a while. We do need to have a catch up. You need to stop ghosting us, woman. All right, but with that though, you both begin to make your way back through Malmstown into Piker, back towards the Baron's Folly, and probably best to say there that this would be the events that have occurred over the last 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we'll pick up next week if there's anything else you think you want to do in the downtime that you want to, make mention of. Then you've still got a chance to. But I think that's a good spot for us to end it on there.
Yarp.
Well, that was a roller coaster. Vanya in Disney World. Dorian murdering his family. Or fake kind of murdering his family. And then...
I look forward to the hangings.
Yeah. And then the Baron of Wood. The Wood Baron.
It's not the first time I've been called that.
Wow.
Anything to close us out with?
Goodbye, chat.
Gotcha.
Goodbye, Chad.
And see you next time on Pariahs.
All right, folks, I'm going to drop into the... haha. Oh, God, he's back. Yeah, thank you for joining us for episode 21. That was a nice little downtime episode. Something... different. Not as wholesome as last week's episode, which was, nice and happy. This started out happy and then just kind of went, oh, God. But I guess that's what you get when you've got a campaign of monsters. What's coming up? Saturday. Hopefully, we may be doing a 1-2 shot little thing in the Fallout universe. After that, Sunday would be episode 22 of Pariahs. So, yeah, hopefully I'll see you all for more. In the meantime, though, let's try... Who's streaming stuff? You're streaming StarCraft and you're in here, so in that case, let's go and bother Enders for a little bit. Our mod extraordinaire, the man who keeps shit going behind the scenes, the handler of bans, the quoter of quotes. Boom. Right. Once again, everyone, thank you very much for joining us. Hope to see you next time for more. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your week or weekend for those of you in the States. Ta-ta for now.